I got some Rick T. From the field to the big leagues. Bang Moody from the 3, I'm like KD. Number 1 draft pick, you should pick me. You ain't considered the GOAT if you don't got a ring. Eric and Jello like Brady throwing it to AB. My team on home run with more stars than the Yankees. Now we getting cocky. Had to put my goals on ice like Sidney Crosby. No, they can't stop me. Got my swing on the back. Put my team on my back. You can get all the games, all the stats, and all the facts. This ain't Stephen A. or Max. Too sharp to get skipped, and you can't dispute that. This a duck put back. If you ever take an L, then we gotta run it back. If you coming here for sports, then you never coming back. That's real, homie, for real. It's a 0, Damian Lil. Now I'm pulling up from the logo. Bang, making them feel. Grinding to get the deal. Get your family in the hills. Get focused, put your work in on the court and on the field. That's real, homie, for real. It's a 0, Damian Lil. Now I'm pulling up from logos. Bang, making them feel. I got some Rick T. From the field to the big leagues. Bang Moody from the 3, I'm like KD. Number 1 draft pick, you should pick me. You ain't considered the GOAT if you don't got a ring. You ain't considered the GOAT if you don't got a ring.
And we are live with the Rick T Podcast, Season 2, Episode 20. Let's get it. Hey. 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 Let's get it. We are live with the Rick T Podcast, Season 2, Episode 20. I am your host, Eric Holmes. You can follow me on all social media platforms at RickT_E. Let's shoot it to Littleton. Joining us today is our Rick T Podcast NFL and NBA analyst, Mr. Jello Rexrode. How you doing, brother?
Good. How about yourself?
I'm good, man. I'm ready to get it, man. And filling in for Tony Cave today. You guys know this guy. He's been on this podcast before. He actually started with us, Mr. Ian Mack.
What's good, everybody?
Hey, let's get it.
What's up?
Let's get it, bro. How you doing, man? How you been living?
I'm chilling. Good to see you both.
Yes, sir, man. I'm excited to get it. Tony is out doing his family thing. We are with him, prayers with him. Tony, take as much time as you need, but we are super excited to have you back. We are ready to have you back on the Rick T Podcast and the Talk Your Talk Show, man. I've been missing it. I've been missing my talk buddy, man. I had to do How About Them Cowboys without a little co-host, and it was a little rough, man, but I'm excited to have Tony Cave back, man, but let is get it, man. Let's start off. As you guys know, Ian Mack is here. He is expertise in something, man, and it is college football. It's something we don't have a lot of around here in the United States, and especially here in Colorado. You see him holding the Oregon shirt on. I would have my Oregon shirt on too, but it is 9/11, so I wanted to show some respect. Yes, sir.
Let me get like a 5-second moment of silence.
Oh, please do.
For the boys.
Yes, sir.
You know.
Yes, sir, man. For everybody who was involved in 9/11, man. We are with you. We appreciate you guys. Little J6 is in the chat saying, Ian, man.
Jay, what's good?
Yes, sir. Shout out to you, Little J, and everybody tuning in wherever you are tuning in from, whether it's on your couch at home, whether it's at work, whether it's in the car on the drive to the store. It does not matter. Thank you guys for tuning in to the Rick T Podcast, Season 2, Episode 20, man. We wouldn't have made it this far without you guys, bro. So let me show you guys what my schedule looks like for about the next 6-7 months, man. Let me tell you guys real, man. Monday, I'm busy, man. NFL football. You guys know there's a Monday night game going on. Had to get to that. I'm busy. Tuesday, do not hit me up. I have to prep for my fantasy football team. You guys know how it is. Fantasy football showdown, $1,000 total. I'm trying to get that, man. So Tuesday, do not hit me up. Wednesday, not necessarily too busy, but, man, I'm just waiting for football. So please don't hit me up on that day either. Thursdays, there's got to be a game on. Doesn't matter if it's Jacksonville, Tennessee, Dallas, Denver. Doesn't matter. I'm busy on Thursdays as well. Friday, high school football. Let me go ahead and tell you guys straight up. You guys could probably hit me up on Fridays. My brother's not in high school anymore, so I'm not going to any high school games around here. So definitely hit me up, bro. But, yeah, Fridays. Saturday, Busy. College football. That's what we're about to get into, and that is what today is, man. And then Sunday, as you guys know, we are doing our NFL pick'ems today for the Rick T Podcast NFL games starting tomorrow, man. So let's get into it, man. Wanted to show you guys this first. Former NFL stars Deion Sanders and Eddie George to face off at HBCU as HBCU coaches today. The game was at 5 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. Someone please tell me if they won that game. Jackson State. I got my money on Deion Sanders here, but here's a little resume for him if you didn't know. He is the head coach of Jackson State University. He is an NFL and college football Hall of Famer, 2-time Super Bowl champ, and 8-time Pro Bowler. And we ain't even going to talk about his time in the MLB. All right. That's just his NFL and college football time. Next up, Eddie George, man. He is the head coach of Tennessee State and HBCU college down there in Tennessee. He is a college Hall of Famer, a 1995 Heisman winner, and a 4-time Pro Bowler, man. But nothing about these guys is too special, right? So let's talk about the teams in general. Tennessee State and Jackson State. Jigaman Porto, appreciate you for tuning in, my boy. But both programs have produced a long list of pro talent, man. Down there at Jackson State University, 93 college football players out of a HBCU. And then at Tennessee State University, 112 out of a HBCU, man. So we're definitely trying to get these HBCUs seen, and there definitely is some talent down there. But let's get into some college football, Ian. So tell the people a little bit about yourself and why you're so into college football. Why is that? You're on mute.
I feel like college football is a little bit more interesting than NFL for me because, like, I follow one team and one team only. College football, I can jump around states and be interested in the top 25 and be interested in teams that are like contesting of people that don't really have those mentalities and have those skills, you know?
Yeah.
I think it's more interesting to follow those instead of NFL because, like, I have my mentality, like, just like you do. Like, you follow the NFL, but you got them Cowboys on your back. You know you got them Cowboys on your back. But, like, I don't know. College football is just different, you know? College football is just different.
So I'll say this, man. I tell people all the time the reason I'm into college football so much more than I am into NFL, to be honest, is because those guys aren't playing for money. So these guys in the NFL, guys get
at the same time they are though. They are though.
Now specifically they are with the whole new NIL rule.
Yeah, but it's different. It definitely is different. You got people playing for millions of dollars instead of, hey, I'll give you $5,000 to wear my brand. You know, I'll give you $5K.
I'm getting a message from backstage. We're going to go ahead and bring my guy, Jay Moneytime, on to tell us some breaking news that just happened. Justin, what's going on, man?
Man, I'm sitting here and I'm watching this Evander Holyfield, Victor Belfort fight, Triller Fest, Fight Club night. It didn't go well for Evander Holyfield. The 60-year-old, all right, let me get this straight. He's 59 years old. But he's damn near 20 years the elder to Victor Belfort, who is a UFC animal. Not anymore, because there's a new age UFC animals. We'll talk about that on Cookouts and Fistfights. But anyway, Evander Holyfield gets hit with about 3, 4, maybe 5 punches, and that's it. They call the fight. That's it. So Evander Holyfield has officially fought his last fight. We thought his last fight was 20 years ago, but it's officially tonight, September 11th. Evander Holyfield is gone. Trump's commentating here. Triller is just doing something crazy.
Real nice.
Triller's got Trump commentating.
He's got some crazy shit going
backstage,
on.
Man. I appreciate you for that breaking news. We'll have you back on later, man. See you soon. Justin Sanchez, a.k.a. J Money Time, with the tune-in from backstage, telling us Evander Holyfield out in the first round.
Should have been out.
Gone in the first round.
Ago. Y'all knew that.
Hey, and I want to go ahead and bring something up to you guys that he literally just slipped by people, not me. This guy said, we'll talk about that more on Cookouts and Fistfights. You guys don't know what Cookouts and Fistfights is, so let me go ahead and explain it to you guys. It's a new show on the Rick T platform.
New show?
It's a new show on the Rick T platform, baby. My guy Jay Moneytime is hosting. He will be talking about everyday cookout conversation, family, life, just anything. But then we're also bringing in some fist fights. You know how family events get sometimes. People get a little bit too much liquor in them and start swinging on each other. You know what I mean? So we're going to be talking about all the crazy fights on there.
Hey, real quick, don't want to interrupt, but what else we bringing on the platform?
what else are we bringing on the platform? AKA RTP Deadly. You guys see it up
That
here.
gaming team, boys.
Yes, sir. Ian Mack, aka RTP Deadly, has been signed to the Rick T platform as a gamer. So if you guys are interested in watching gaming, Call of Duty, anything, tune into my guy RTP Deadly's stream. Follow him on Twitch. And let's get it rocking, man. Congratulations.
And thank you. Appreciate you. But don't think about it as just Call of Duty. Just remember that, hey, Eric's been running some fucking everything. You got 2K, you got Madden, you got everything and anything that you would want. We got the podcast, we got fighting, we got everything. We got everything on this platform.
Yes, sir, man. Like I said, man, congratulations, man. But like I said, let's get into it, baby. College football today was Saturday, the second official week of college football down here in America. Man, so Ian, let's get right into it, man. I know you had a couple games specifically that you wanted to talk about. You watch college football all day, so tell us about it, man. How's it going? Talk about it.
First things first. I got to bring up the boys. Man, they looked so good against Ohio. I don't even know how to explain it to you. Running, passing, all of it. Look at that. Look at that in itself. Oregon looked so good against Ohio State, and if they don't go top 5, to me they don't go top 5. It's disrespectful, which brings me to the next thing. Next game, CU versus Texas A&M. Yes. CU versus Texas A&M. I just don't see Texas A&M being top 5 because of the way that they performed. Yes, they lost their starting quarterback, 2 minutes into the game, but even then, their defense looked horrible. Offensive line looked really bad. The running game looked horrible. It was just set straight on passing. And yes, they pulled it off at the very, very end of the game. What was it? Maybe just less than 3 minutes left in the game. Just didn't look good. It just didn't look good to me.
And let me go ahead and add in, that was a ranked 5 team versus a unranked CU team, man. So Texas A&M is ranked 5 while CU is unranked. The same thing with the Oregon game that he talked about earlier. Oregon was ranked 12. We upset ranked 3. Do the position swap? I don't know, man. But Ian, continue on, please.
Exactly. What is this position swap? But 12v3, that game, Oregon just looked a better team. They just made Ohio look bad, if that makes sense.
Freshman quarterback, they definitely showed that. They definitely showed holes in their receiving core. They definitely showed holes in their defense.
They showed weaknesses, and they showed big weaknesses against a ranked 12 team.
Yeah.
Fact. Oregon, in my opinion, should be top 10. Not even if then top 7. Maybe top 10 might be pushing it. Top 7, absolutely. Texas A&M shouldn't even be in the top 10 after their performance today.
Agreed.
Another game, a couple other games that I want to bring up is Iowa versus Iowa State. Iowa is a team to be recognized, a team to be reckoned with. Iowa is a incredible team because Iowa State was a team to be reckoned with last year, and they beat them by 10, but they put the smacking on them. If you watch that game, they really did smack that team. And the rest of them, you also have to understand it's week 2 of the college football season, so most of it's just like warm-up teams, and it's like Penn State won by 144 to 13. You got Georgia winning 56-7. You got
Oklahoma. We just heard it before this game. Oklahoma is winning like 64-0.
It's Oklahoma is beating Western Carolina 55-0. But Western Carolina is not even a top 100 team.
But I'm just saying, like you said,
exactly. It's a warm-up week. It's a warm-up week because Georgia won against UAB 56-7, and Alabama won 48-14 against Mercer, which again should not have let up 14 points.
I was about to say Mercer. Those 14 points don't look good on Alabama.
Exactly, and Clemson beat South Carolina 49-3. It's just a warm-up week, but you also have to understand that this is where character comes into play, and you have to pay attention, because if you guys want to tune into live games currently, we got 45 seconds left in the third quarter of the Appalachian State versus Miami.
Yep.
It's a 48 ranked versus a 22 ranked. Appalachian State's down by 2. You also got, what else we got? We got Georgia State versus North Carolina. North Carolina is ranked 24 in the nation. They're up 24-10. Also a good game to run, because you got 12 minutes left in the third quarter.
Okay.
It's a bunch of iffy games. So week 2 is hard to week 2 is hard to play, because you also have Auburn beating Alabama State 62-0, and you got Virginia Tech beating Middle Tennessee State 35-14.
Oh, Knicks.
But another game, like there's games you have to pay attention to, is Notre Dame versus Toledo. Notre Dame only won by 3 points. They're ranked 8 in the nation. How do you only win by 3 points against a team that's that ish irrelevant? Like,
yeah,
we don't really see that a lot going on, because you got teams winning by 30, 40 points. So you just got to pay attention to teams that barely win versus the teams that win by large margins. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, 100% agree. 100% agree.
But in my personal opinion, I think Texas A&M should drop 8 below. I think Ohio State should drop 5 below. I think Oregon should bump 7 plus. I think Penn State should bump 10 plus. I think Iowa should bump 10 plus. Iowa's 10 currently. I think they should either bump 9 plus. I think they should be 9, because Iowa State was 9. They only lost by 10, so I don't think they should go any lower than 12. Clemson should stay 6, because they played South Carolina State and beat the shit out of them. They won by 43 points, or 46 points, sorry. And Oklahoma staying 4. They're beating Western Carolina 55-0. They're going to stay 4. But I think that the top 25 is going to take a real dryer run. Go through the turns. It's going to be a big week of changing the top 25 this week.
I 100% agree, bro. I 100% agree. So let me get 60 seconds to just tell you guys why I think. Well, this is my explanation on why I think Oregon should break into the top 7. So I agree with you. I think top 7 is a good spot for them. So Anthony Brown, and this isn't against an Ohio State team. What up, Big Blue Jay 92, my boy? Appreciate you for tuning into the Rick T podcast. But let me go ahead and say this isn't against a ranked 3 Ohio State team in Columbus, Ohio. And let me go ahead and say on Wednesday on the Talk Your Talk show, we had Austin on from Pro Football Focus, and he went ahead and said Oregon was a 14-point deficit, that Ohio was a 14-point favorite. And honestly, I sat there and looked at him and I was like, man, do people actually think that Oregon is this bad? Gonna go against a ranked 3 team. You think we're not going to be ready for it and not going to be able to do it? So Anthony Brown at quarterback, man, 17 completions, 35 attempts. He was 48.6% from the field, but 236 yards and 2 touchdowns, no interceptions, man. His quarterback His quarterback rating was 124.1, man.
Crazy.
Let's get into the good shit. CJ Verdell, our starting running back, man, 20 rushes for 161 yards and 2 touchdowns. His longest was a 77-yard run, my boy. 77-yard run. So that's honestly why. And let me go ahead and say, too, Kayvon Thibodeau, Justin Flo, our best defensive end in the nation, and our best personal linebacker were out this game. And we still went ahead and had turnovers against a freshman quarterback at Ohio State. We went ahead and proved everybody wrong. So I'm just proud of my Oregon Ducks. That is my reasoning on why I think they should break into the top 7.
And I totally agree with that. And if you, I honestly want to bring into it, Texas A&M is ranked 5 in the nation right now. They won by 3 against CU this week. Barely.
Yep,
and yes, they did not have their starting quarterback, but their starting running back, if you look at the stats, did not have a single run for more than 4 yards. Not one run more than 4 yards. He touched the ball less than 10 times in that game.
We're talking Colorado Boulder, right?
Exactly. See
That-
you, Boulder, the Buffs, bro, the Buffs.
Hey,
And that's why it's so. That's why it's wild to me because that guy, yes, he did catch the winning touchdown, but that's all he did. He did catching in the fourth quarter. They didn't see anything else in that. They didn't run for anything that was monumental to me. They didn't show me any running game. They didn't show me any offensive line things. They were getting beat up in the pocket. If they see any team that has a better defensive line than CU, they're done. They don't have anything that has to show for them to be a top 10, let alone a top 5 team.
Yeah, 100% agreed. And honestly, I have some hatred towards CU. For one, we live in Colorado, so that's really all you see is Broncos and Nuggets and CU fans. So it's like, ugh, like it's just like, ugh, you know what I mean?
Don't see CSU.
CSU, Northern Colorado. I see a lot of CMU. I be seeing CMU.
Hell yeah.
Right, Jello? All we do at CMU is
drink.
and my boy Ian. You should have been there. It was crazy.
I didn't go to college.
You should have. You really should have. College football was even wild, bro. I went to a couple games where I was so drunk by like halfway through the first quarter that I had to leave.
But even then, like, if I'm looking at him right now, it's on my left. So Auburn won 62-0 as a 25 ranked team. Florida beat South Florida by 22. You got Virginia Tech winning by like a touchdown and a half. You got Penn State winning by a margin to 40 ranked Ball State. It's just a week that you kind of have to sit back and watch, you know.
Hey, Big Blue J 92 Mava, baby. You
What's
already know.
What's up?
You already know. Mava. Yes, sir. I'm definitely be up there.
And another thing that I forgot to mention earlier is 15 ranked Texas is losing 33-7 to Arkansas. To the Razorbacks is losing 33-7 right now.
I'm telling you, college football this year, after a COVID year with fans
A lot
back,
of things are going
everybody
to
knew.
change. And we also have a couple good games coming up. We got Stanford USC at 8:30 tonight. It'll be in about 4 minutes. That game will start. 8:15 Utah BYU. I haven't refreshed my thing. That probably started just now. That's BYU is ranked 38 in the nation. Utah is ranked 21. That's going to be a great game. You also have UNLV versus Arizona State, which Arizona State is ranked 23 in the nation, which also will be a great game. And Arizona State's receiving core is immaculate, to be honest. But the quarterback situation there is throwing me off a little bit.
Yeah, they have Jalen Daniels at quarterback or whatever. He's a little shrimp dick. I hate him because he beat Oregon the last couple of years, but he's a good quarterback. I'll be 100% honest. He's hilarious. He's a good dude.
You killed me with that.
He just pisses me off, bro. Like, he's like my size out there with 6'3", 6'4".
But this is a different
Oregon, and he's like,
we're playing with.
100% agree, bro. So another thing before we get to commercial break and out of this college football segment, bro, Anthony Brown is a 5-year senior. He's a 5th-year senior, the quarterback for Oregon. He played at Boston College. So he's played against Clemson for 4 years, and then he transferred to Oregon. And then with that extra year of eligibility, he's playing for free right now, just at Oregon. So all that experience just there. Love it. I'm loving it, man.
I do love it also. Like, college football to me is, I feel like this year out of the last maybe 3 or 4 is the most interesting to me because ranked teams are just dropping like bad habits. Bad habits. We got 3 dropping. What do we got last week? Hold on, let me pull up last week. Shit.
I think it was 3.
Was it 3 or 5?
I think it was 4. If I'm incorrect,
it was Georgia and Clemson. I think Clemson was either 3 or 4. I think it was 3.
Somebody else in the top 10 dropped.
They were 3.
Someone else in the top 10 dropped.
Yeah,
or Oregon even dropped back.
Moved up.
What were you saying, Jello?
Clemson was 3. Georgia was 5. That's why Georgia moved up.
Okay.
Georgia definitely beat the shit out of whoever they played today. I saw that.
Hey, you have your 10 and your 9. Your 9 lost, so that'll move around a little bit, but. I think the big one to watch out here for college football-wise is Coastal Carolina. I said this last year. I think those are some guys to watch out for. that's one of those sneaky teams people don't think about, but they're ranked so high for a reason. So
That's how I feel with Cincinnati.
So
Cincinnati's a dangerous team too, and people were like, they're a small school. Like, all right, go ahead and play with them.
To me, Coastal Carolina and the AP polls is like you guys remember Florida Gulf Coast a few years ago? And those are them guys that are just going to show up and beat the shit out of you. Those are them guys. That's what Coastal Carolina gives me. They give me those vibes,
Yeah, like last chance you type of vibes.
Exactly. They're gonna show up and they're gonna play their hearts out.
Yes, sir, man. But Ian Mack, I appreciate you too much for coming on here talking some college football with us, my boy. We definitely let's have the people in the studio give you a round of applause. Guys, calm down. RTP Deadly, you guys know. Just calm down. You know what I mean? Just calm down. Breathe.
Hey, I appreciate y'all having me.
Of course, man. But we're going to get to a quick commercial break, and on the other side of commercial break, we're talking some NFL football. Ian, you are more than welcome to stay on and join us if you would like. But we'll see you guys on the other side of commercial.
Don't got that much shit.
Hey, whatever. We'll get you in there.
I'll give my opinions. I'll be here. I'll be here.
We'll see you guys on the other side of commercial break.
Yeah.
Commercial break. Y'all want to have a dance battle?
He freezes. Bro. Oh, shit. Yo, New York's getting it poppin'.
Chicago, what you got?
Hey.
Oh, Tennessee! Sacramento! LA!
Oh my God, this is just way off.
Minnesota!
No, bro, I'm shutting this down. Let's move on.
Jacksonville! Nebraska right here. Hey, let's hit Kansas City!
I can do that one.
Hey!
Trouble.
Dang it!
Hey, you gotta pull up.
Hey, let's hit Montana! Oh, shit, Montana's going stupid. Brooklyn!
Nah, bro. Get the fuck down, bro.
New Jersey!
Damn.
Denver! This is the Repeat Podcast, Season 2, Episode 19. I am your host, Eric, along with Jello Retro to Tony Cave. We are out of here.
You're a remarkable talent. Someone with a chance to do something very special in the league.
I'm ready.
Here's my boy. MP, what's up, bro?
What's up, man? How you doing, Chris?
You're playing professional basketball. This has to be a dream come true for you.
If you do what we know you're capable of, you'll be in that starting lineup.
Woo! There he is. Yo, you know you killing it out there, bro.
I'm here. I have an appointment with Charles Hampton.
You must be MP.
I cooked up a little something special for you today.
I don't waste time on the phone like that, and I stay leaving text on red. I had a minute.
I got something for you, MP.
Booked you some studio time to record your first track.
Oh, this place is legit.
Keep this up, and managing all the people trying to get at you is gonna be a full-time job.
Yo, that was fire, man. Yo, this is ridiculous, bro. This is mine.
He's had a nice little streak, but can he keep it up?
They about to go crazy.
Rick D Podcast Season 2, Episode 20. Let's get it. Even backstage, they're going crazy. If you guys watch WWE, that's Nakamura. The best damn entrance song in the game. T Cave is here. My guy Tony Cave.
Tony,
let's go. My boy T Cave is here. Welcome to the Rick T Podcast Season 2, Episode 20. Wish you were here on screen with us, brother. We're definitely missing you, but hope you're doing well, man. Prayers, love, all with you, my brother. Let's get into hour number 2, man. 35 minutes in. Let's talk some NFL. Jello, I'm excited to hear what you got to say on these, man. I went on Bleacher Report, Gridiron, and got some images. Let's see what they had to say today. So 2021 awarded NFL picks for the season projected before the season even starts. So let's get into it. Comeback player of the year, they definitely have Dallas Cowboys quarterback Dak Prescott. Offensive and defensive rookie of the year, they have Trevor Lawrence winning it for Jacksonville Jaguars, and Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah, the linebacker for the Cleveland Browns, that ended up going late, if you remember, in the draft extravaganza. Sean McDermott, they have for coach of the year, the coach of the Buffalo Bills. Kyler Murray, they have fantasy player of the year, the quarterback for the Arizona Cardinals. For standout player or breakout player of the year, they have Washington football team's running back Antonio Gibson. Offensive and defensive players of the year, they have Patrick Mahomes, the quarterback for Kansas City Chiefs, and Myles Garrett, the edge rusher for the Cleveland Browns. And then most valuable player, MVP of the NFL 2021 season, they have projected quarterback for the Buffalo Bills, Josh Allen. And then quick take, they have Buffalo Bills taking the Tampa Bay Buccaneers on in the Super Bowl. So were you half right last year? I don't know. But what do you think on those, man? Which ones did you find correct and which ones did you find incorrect?
So, I mean, they're usually pretty close with these, and I do like what they're going through with some of these picks. Dak is definitely going to be comeback player of the year. We saw a lot of that in this, this last Thursday night game. I do like Sean McDermott as coach of the year. Fantasy player of the year, though, I'm not going to Kyler Murray this year. When it comes to that, I think this is going to come down to Josh Allen's year. He's going to be MVP. I really feel like overall, because you have to look at the whole team as well, not just him, because if the team loses every game and he's still the best quarterback, he's not going to get MVP. So they added Greg Rousseau this year in the draft. They have Tremaine Edmonds. They have, their entire backfield at that point. Jordan Poyer, stuff like that, to really pull it all together. Plus, they added Emmanuel Sanders in this offseason. Everyone called that a fluke, but I think he's going to be a solid 1,000+ yard catcher this year. So I think Allen's really going to be that guy to come out here and show everybody he's like, last year wasn't a fluke. I got to the AFC Championship game. I can make it to the Super Bowl, because he's going up against, the bigger teams with, the very depleted defenses at this point. And in the Super Bowl, I don't have the Bucs in the Super Bowl. This year, I just don't see it. I think one that's really coming together is, Bills, and I like what the Seahawks are doing right now. I don't think it's going to be this one-and-done team. I really think the big breakout player is going to be DK. Not saying he hasn't had good years before this, but DK's good to be your big breakout player. This man is going to lead the league in yards this year. Touchdowns, that could go either way. But I think Seattle's really that team to bring it all together. They added the linemen they needed to. Their defense is coming back. They've added some great defenses. They've gotten Gerald Everett from the Rams. Their running backs are looking good and looking healthy. They did everything they needed to, and to the point where Russell went from, being upset to being like, wow, they actually answered my problems. The Seahawks did for Wilson what the Packers haven't done for Rodgers, which is why he doesn't make it this year. Not saying their team isn't good in various ways, but I think it's Bills and Seahawks. And another big one too, you have a Cowboys defense. Eric already knows my feelings on this. It's not necessarily depleted, but it's a very young, very fresh, heavily injured defense that still had 2 picks against Brady, still almost beat them in the end of it. So, and if that's how they start the season, they're going to have a hard conference. The Saints defense is still all right. They're going to have Alvin Kamara to go up against, stuff like that. So I think this is a team that doesn't make it this year. Everyone expects them to because, they have every starter, so why wouldn't they win it again? But I think they came through a few easy games, per se, last year because they still struggled heavily against the Saints, stuff like that. And I think this is one where they're just going to lose more games. So I guess it's more bold, but Rookie of the Year, let's go over this really quick. Offensive Rookie of the Year, I think, is going to go to Justin Fields. I love Lawrence, don't get me wrong, but there's no way Dalton holds his position as the starter, and there's no way Nick Foles is going to beat Fields out. And I think Fields is that guy, he might be a little overconfident, but what we've seen in his gameplay so far, might it be preseason at that point? I like what I'm saying in his arm strength, his accuracy, his IQ, the way as mobile as he is, but he's mobile and can throw. Especially off that back foot. So I like what I'm seeing there. So I think he takes Offensive Rookie of the Year with more of, a late half season push, really that second half of the season.
Yeah.
But defense, everyone's going to say I'm biased in this one. I'm going Surtain. Just what we've seen already. I love Koromoa and I like what he's going to do at linebacker. But you're competing with guys like Jadeveon Clowney and Myles Garrett on that team where I think he'll be a little overshadowed. Whereas Surtain, I think he can really take over that role in Darby's position and really become a starter. And this man was a shutdown at Alabama, and I think he's going to push that right into the NFL. Another guy with that heavy NFL IQ. Another, he's going to be one of those guys. He's going to be that, that pass attacker. So he'll get to the ball before the receivers do, and he can read the eyes of the quarterback better than the quarterback knows where their eyes are at that point.
Yeah.
But other ones I do agree with, but, there's so much speculation with this season too. Who knows? We got to remember too, that's where it's so tough making these decisions is the new COVID rules.
So if I can.
Let's talk about Cole Beasley, for example. Just because it's an easy person to reference because of the rules and how he's
absolutely
doing. No hate towards him in this, at this time right now. But unvaccinated player catches COVID, people get sick, boom, you lose a game. So that could happen to the point where, boom, you just killed Josh Allen's chance for that MVP. You killed their chance at getting to the Super Bowl because, you dropped 3-4 games at that point and knocked you out of contention, and maybe people got sick and you had a bad wild card game at that point. So, there's so much that goes into this. It's not like the COVID year, no sound, lightened calls on holding, stuff like that. It really comes down to this is going to be a whole new ball game for a lot of people. And a lot of people, they only made the fine $14,000, so people are still going to be fighting that. So with the rules in place, this could really take these big teams, and that's why teams like the Bucs, 100% vaccinated at that point, it's something to celebrate because they have no worry now at this point for the rules and stuff like that and dropping games. So that's a helpful thing to them as well. But I don't know. I think this is going to be a better season than people think, and there's going to be a lot of surprises. So. There's a lot of young names that you won't know. I think another guy to watch out for is Jarrett Patterson for the Washington football team as well. Man killed it at Buffalo last year. So, there's so much talent. We'll have to see how it goes. Injuries always play a part, whether we like it or not. Fantasy, outside of fantasy, your teams, not your teams. That will always play a big part in this as well. So, I hope everyone the best of health, the best of the years. So, but I can't wait to see what's going to happen.
Fact. Ian, what are you thinking about these
So,
things, man?
if you're going to bring up the NFC West, that's a big, difficult division that you got to think about. And I'm not going to sit back and say, hey, the 49ers are going to win it. No, definitely not. That is a division that is to be won, not is in the difference of other divisions other than some. But the NFC West, I feel like in the NFL is the most difficult division in the NFL.
Agree.
And I just don't see the Seahawks performing the way that you see it. Like, I have all faith in Russell Wilson. I have all faith in DK Metcalf. Like, those two guys are fantastic, but I just don't have the faith in their defensive line. I don't have their faith in their secondary. I don't have faith in their defenses, which my problem is I just don't have the faith in their defense to beat teams like Kansas City, to beat teams like Buffalo, to beat teams like Cleveland, to beat teams like San Francisco, to beat teams that have a speed threat. I just don't see I don't see Seattle beating those teams because I don't see their defense being as speed threat as they are power threat. Exactly.
Yeah, I was going to say, I kind of see that's how
they can rush it, but if they have one quarterback, they see one quarterback that can scramble for 2-3 seconds and throw the ball to people that are just absolutely beating DBs, absolutely beating safeties, absolutely beating any linebacker or inside linebacker, outside linebacker, any middle linebacker, anybody. I just don't see Seattle beating those guys. I just don't see it. If you see one scrambling quarterback that can buy himself an extra second or 2 seconds, I just don't see the outside defense of Seattle beating it, because I can see their inside defense just pushing and rushing quarterbacks, but you can't blitz every quarter. You can't blitz every down. You can't, because you'll be beat by teams that are just speedy and smart and fast.
I think the big thing here, when you look towards, even the latter part of the season at this point, you have Stafford. Stafford is not your runner. At his age, he's, more of a pocket passer. So you have to imagine this as well. In your struggles last year with Kupp not being able to get the end zone, you do have Higbee, but you lost Gerald Everett to the Seahawks at that point. And a lot of this is staying healthy too, because that's the biggest question right now with a team like the 49ers, with a team, like the Arizona Cardinals right now. That's where you have to look at, and why I really made this decision with this conference at this point is Mostert going to stay healthy at this point? So, this is the big thing here is Mostert going to stay healthy? And if so, is Sermon going to be able to take that position? You have Garoppolo as your starting quarterback right now. So you really have to see, is he going to stay healthy? Is Lance going to be able to come in and do what he wants to do? Is Kittle going to stay healthy? Is Ayuk going to stay healthy? Is Deebo Samuel going to stay healthy on the 49ers defense at that point? The guys they have brought in, I do like Fred Warner, don't get me wrong. There's a lot of good players on that team. But it's how is it going to be?
Absolutely, and I'm not even talking about the 49ers.
Well, I just mean
sorry to interrupt you, but I'm not even talking about the 49ers personally myself. I'm just talking about the NFC West myself. And it's it's just speed. You got Cooper Kupp, you got Deebo Samuel, you got all these guys that you can think of. The Rams speed, you can think of the Cardinals speed with Kyler Murray, you can think about the Seahawks intelligence with everything, all aspects of the NFC West is what I'm trying to tell you. Is
no, absolutely, and that's what I was going to get to.
I'm not even trying to tell, just trying to give insight. It's so much speed, and you're trying to run it on so much power. I feel like the Seahawks are trying to run so much power. Is that Russell, to me, is getting to the back end of his starting thing. He isn't going to be a scrambling quarterback like he used to be. He's not going to be running for 20, 25, 30 yards every down. He's not going to be running for that because of the competition of the defensive lines and the defensive aspects of all NFC West teams. Because at the end of the day, Russell's going to have to face those guys.
Well, but that's why
we're moving the fuck on. We're getting out of this conversation, guys. I feel like we're entering this dark pit of a hole that we're not going to know until about week 6. We're literally not going to know. So I feel like Bleacher Report, we're moving on. Let's talk about something different. Let's stay on the young quarterbacks conversation, man. So Trevor Lawrence was awarded team captain this morning, but that's not what interests me. And it's honestly weird to see how the hype went for Trevor Lawrence before the draft and how it is now. Because before the draft, it's like, oh, he's number 1 pick. He's going to be this. He's going to be that. And now it's kind of the Zach Wilson train. Zach Wilson has also been awarded team captain for the New York Jets. But let's talk about him, man. Tony Romo, NBC analyst, said, I think Zach Wilson is going to be in the discussion as one of the top 3 to 5 quarterbacks very quickly. He also said, it's rare for me to say someone has the ability to get into the stratosphere of Mahomes, but I think this kid actually has that ability. And let's be honest here for a second, unbiasedly. Tony Romo, I won't say he was a great player, but outside of football, I feel like he is one of the best at looking inside the game and knows what he's talking about. Like if you've heard him broadcast, he literally calls every single play before it happens. Run inside, John. Run inside. Run inside. You better go to DK Metcalf on a post here. Boom, boom, post, touchdown. It's crazy. You know what I mean? So Tony Romo saying this having this much value and this much praise for a guy like Zach Wilson, who is 23 years of age, is crazy, man. So I kind of just wanted to get into your guys' thoughts. Jello, we'll start with you, man. How are you feeling about Tony Romo saying all this about Zach Wilson, man? Do you think he's going to be the truth or what?
So, I mean, I've said this before. We didn't see enough of him in college like we did, a lot of players, just, certain factors like COVID and stuff like that. But I think the biggest thing here is, they added another good lineman at that point. You have Mekhi Becton as well. But the big one's going to be the receivers. Jamison Crowder's already out week 1 with COVID at that point. And then you look at, is Elijah Moore going to be able to do what he needs to do? Is Michael Carter, as much as I am a fan of Michael Carter, is he going to be able to do what he needs to? Is that defense going to be able to keep up to the fact where the Jets aren't coming back from a 21-point deficit? Stuff like that. I think it's really going to be the effect here, because how many quarterbacks at that point have, 1, been hurt, or 2, really dropped, there's so many amazing quarterbacks who are still amazing quarterbacks on poor teams. So you don't see what they do. You don't see all the good stuff as much as the bad at that point. So it's really like, is his team going to be able to help him at this point? They did add Corey Davis, don't get me wrong. He did have his breakout year in his 4th year last year. So
he looked great in preseason too. He looked fantastic.
And that's a big thing, but is that consistency going to be able to stay there? Because Zach Wilson's, he has an arm. He is consistent with his throws. But can his line keep him? Keep the defensive line away from him at that point? Are they going to be able to get that blitz? Are they going to be able to go to watch that blind side rush, stuff like that? And are the wide receivers going to be able to catch the ball? Because I'm not saying these, they're in the NFL, these receivers are good, but not one receiver on this team is that number 1, number 2, number 3, even, top 10 receiver at this point. So are they going to be able to help this man? Because at this point, he's going to need 3, 1,000-yard receivers at this point, because this team's going to be a 65 to 70% throwing team. You're going to have that 30% rush because you have Michael Carter for those deeper runs at that point. You do have Ty Johnson who can get those inside, red zone touchdowns. But are they going to be able to keep up with that? Can he be, a 50, 60% completion rate at that point? Or, if they drop balls, it affects him. Once again, this isn't like a basketball scenario. With football, your team helps you become better. If you do that, you're not where you need to be. Once again, we've seen this a million times. Look at Joe Burrow. Great quarterback, he was on track to be rookie of the year at that point, and his team let him down. So, I mean, we really have to look over that too, and it's a very real scenario. So as much as, Zach Wilson could succeed with him, if his team doesn't ride the bus with him, it is game over. So
Facts, man.
Wait and see. So I like what he's going to do. I don't see him as a top 5 quarterback just with the talent that's already there. I think he breaks top 20. But once again, he's still a rookie this year, so breaking top 20 is a very good thing. Not many rookies can do what Herbert did, and so on and so forth. So we really have to wait and see. Josh Allen took 3 years to blossom. So,
yes, sir, man. I completely agree with that. Interesting takes, man. I honestly think Zach Wilson is going to be very good, and I think the Jets team around him is honestly not the best in that division, but I think they have enough talent to compete now. You know what I mean? I don't think they're going to go out there and let the Raiders run past them on a last-second victory like they did last year. So it'll be interesting to see, man. Ian, swinging it to you, man. How do you feel about Tony Romo praising this kid, Zach Wilson, so highly, bro? Do you think highly of Zach Wilson? Do you think highly of Tony Romo? How are you feeling about it, bro?
So, and before we get into it, I just want to address a comment that we have from TK 2296. That's very biased, Ian. I just want to say that I'm just playing it straight off of defenses in the NFC West. That's it. Straight off defense. I have no hate for the Seahawks in that opinion. I just I haven't really seen anything great things from them in the backs. I haven't seen great things from any receiver besides DK. But other than that, Zach, you know what? I really do see him thriving, but like going off of what Jello said, it's going straight off of it's going straight off of what he has on his offensive front, what protection that he has, and what his receivers can do for him. Because we all know that he can throw. We all know that he cannot depend on his backs besides in the red zone and 4, 5, 6 yard runs to get him a first down and blah 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 blah. And yeah. All right, Jello. All right, we get it.
Jello going crazy, man. Jello, just get it out your system, man.
Let's see
what new fire you got.
Let's see.
Oh, we're on.
Got some DK. Okay.
All right, let's see here.
Ooh. What was that, 8 of 16? 15. All right.
Wow. Hey,
you got a patch?
Kyle Pitts. That's crazy, bro.
Kyle Trask, while we're on the calendar.
My boy actually got $500,000 in cards.
Jello showed me a card. Jello showed me a card like a month ago. It was a Ricky Williams card. He had a dread. He had one of Ricky Williams' dreads in a case. I was like, no fucking way. No, I'm just.
And just remember, Jigga Man, just remember, bro. I'm not hating on anybody. I'm showing love to everybody. Jets offense may be the same, but you also have to remember he's still a rookie quarterback. He's still not thinking the same as BYU. It's different. It was easier for them.
Yeah.
You have to also remember it was easier for him at BYU than it is going to be in New York with the Jets. And the only thing is the offensive line gives me the most heebie-jeebies. You know what I'm saying? Like
their offensive line.
I don't know,
Gang, we do have a new follower, a new viewer.
Yeah.
Let's go ahead and get it, man. We'll just go ahead and call him Cabo. Cabo21. Thanks for tuning into the Rig 2 podcast, man. Hey, we gonna turn it up for you one time. Appreciate that, man. Tuning in, commenting. Love it. We're giving out jerseys at 35 viewers, though. So
let's throw this out to Jigga real quick. No hate on the Jets. I do Mekhi Becton. I'm a big Mekhi Becton fan. Really quick, all I'm throwing out here is there's a lot that has to come together for this to work.
Jigga, he's hating. He's hating.
See, Ian's only hating because Robert Saleh went to the Jets.
I'm not hating. I'm honestly not hating. I really do see Zach being successful, but just not as successful as people portray him to be. I don't think that he's going to be the guy. You know what I'm saying? I don't think Zach's going to be that guy.
Let's go ahead and move on, man. We got to go ahead and get through this, man, before we get to our next commercial. One topic before we get to our next commercial. Let's talk about this. I thought this was interesting, man. Mac Jones says him and his girlfriend practice walkthroughs of Patriots plays in their yard. I guess her name is Sophie Scott. Also learned Alabama's playbook to help Jones during the pandemic last year. So just interesting.
Sophie Scott, where you at? And when the fuck you gonna teach my girl this and shit?
this Sophie Scott. Can you teach my girlfriend to throw a football and play catch with me, please? I beg
I'm
you.
just playing.
Oh, go Saints. We have another Saints fan here.
Come on, bruh. With your sign shit, Jello, we get it, bro.
No, keep throwing it out there. Jello got $500,000.
How many more sign helmets you got? Who else you got? Let me see. Show it to them.
On the right helmet. Jerry Rice, go on the right helmet. I mean, I got a bunch. I'm not going to go through it all because there's boxes. You know, I have over here.
Please don't, man. I just wanted to get your guys' quick opinion. Let's go ahead and keep it quick and don't get off topic about some stupid shit, guys. Come on. Let's keep it base. What the hell would you guys do? What would you guys do for a girl that helped you learn your playbook and went through the walkthroughs with you during the offseason and during the pandemic to get you to the NFL, man? Do you feel that she maybe deserves a little moolah, or do you think her being with him is enough? Ian, we'll start with you, man. How you feel about this, bro? Keep it simple.
Only what Kanye said. We want prenup.
Oh my god.
We want a prenup. Jello, going to you, bro.
You never know.
I mean, at that point, she getting rocked up. She working with you. She there for you as well. She ain't just in it for everything. She's there to help you and move you forward. Where you gonna find another girl like that that'll go through plays with you like that? So, I mean, you got to give her that rock. So
that's gang, like Jello said. Jello just talked like he was from Southern Alabama. He said, "You gotta rock her up, chalk her up. She gonna walk with you, walk her up. You know how we do it. Pock her up. You know how I'm doing. Pocket her up." I was like, "Damn, Jello's sitting there. He's like explaining how fire this is, but like it was a rap." So I appreciate that, Jello. That was fire. Straight fire, but I agree. Honestly, he needs to rock her up, and she needs to make sure she gets that rock. But I don't know if
since
Ian could be right. These guys might be like,
you never know.
Like, prenup.
Give me 5 seconds.
Prenup. I agree, honestly, but hey,
where's yours?
Mine.
You see him?
I don't have a prenup yet.
Why you need a prenup?
I'm rich. You see all this, You see all this screens and stuff.
Hey,
I'm worth money.
Jello, where's yours?
What?
The ring? Jello ain't married.
You got one?
I mean, we're technically, we just say we are, but there's no ring.
Hey, moving on. We got an off topic again. What the fuck are we doing, guys? We're getting a commercial break, bro. After commercial break, we're going to continue to talk about some NFL shit. Hopefully, stay on topic and get through this show. Hey. I'm excited for these commercials. These second commercials are hilarious. Love them. So stay with us. Tune in on the other side. More NFL talk. See you guys soon. The Rick D Podcast, Season 2, Episode 20.
Oh! Jesus is Lord. Yes. Come on. Be nice to me! Oh, bitch! Bitch, no! Bitch, no! Did I win? Woo! Woo! Let's go! Dub City, baby! I love you, yeah!
And the snap, and give it to Verdell going left. There's nobody out there. He's going to score, and he does! Touchdown, Oregon! Verdell had Ryan Walk, and Ryan Walk had nobody to block. Boy, did Verdell get outside easy there. Great block from the outside. But again, Ohio State just did not respond to that play.
First down as Ohio State will quickly get the snap inside the Oregon 30. Lofton on the right side. Wilson wide open. Touchdown, Garrett Wilson. As Stroud just lofted that down the right sideline, and Ohio State gets a C.J. Stroud TD pass to Garrett Wilson, and the Buckeyes are down a point, 7-6.
Yeah, they caught him off guard. Looks like that DB was frozen at the line of scrimmage. Garrett Wilson was able to run right by him, and that was an easy pitch and catch for C.J. Stroud. Buckeyes looking to tie it up here with the extra point.
Anthony Brown snap, pitch it to Verdell going left. He may score again, and he will. Touchdown, Oregon. That's the same play they ran for the score from Verdale the first time. That was amazing how easy that was. Ohio State packs the inside and gambles that Oregon's going to try to go mano-a-mano. 20, 10, touchdown, C.J. Verdale. Yes, he's got the speed. Yes. He's got the speed. 77 yards.
The shotgun with a snap. Set to pass to Stroud. Tosses down the middle of the field. Caught at the 5 and into the end zone. Jackson Smith in Jigba. 26-yard touchdown pass from C.J. Stroud. Ohio State a little closer. They trail 21-13 to Oregon.
Yeah, the Buckeyes put a drive together to start the third quarter, their first possession of the ball game.
Johnson in motion across the formation. Give it to Verdale. No, it's going to be a throw. Wide open. Touchdown, Oregon. In the end zone. Nobody near Maliki Matavao. And he scores his first touchdown for Oregon as a freshman. And one of the biggest plays of the year.
Redshirt freshman quarterback gets the ball. Back to pass. He's at the Oregon 24. Flips it out right side where it's caught at the 10 to the 5 and into the end zone. Again goes Jackson Smith in Jigba on a 14-yard pass play from quarterback C.J. Stroud. And Ohio State answers with another score. They're a little closer, but they trail 35-27. Van Ruckert wide left. C.J. Stroud with the ball. Back to pass. Stroud looking. Fakes. Now moves to the right. Stroud on the run to his own 40. To his own 45. Flips it upfield. Intercepted by Oregon at their own 36-yard line. Safety for Verone McKinley. Picks it off, and that probably locks it up for the Ducks as C.J. Stroud throws his second interception of the season, trying to get it downfield.
He's just trying to make a play there.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.
And we are back with the Rick T Podcast, Season 2, Episode 20. Pull that comment back up, please. RIP Ohio State. Mood on that.
Motherfucker.
That is my motherfucking mood on RIP Ohio State. I honestly 100% agree. Ohio State, after that loss, it's going to be hella hard for them to go ahead and slip into the college football playoffs because this isn't an eight-game season for them like it was last year. This is a 10 to 11 to a 12-game season for them, so it's going to be hard. Hope you guys enjoyed that commercial, man. Let's get back into some NFL talk and finish the Rick T Podcast Season 2, Episode 20 out strong, man. So I do want to talk about Thursday's game. Dallas versus the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. We did fall short, I believe, 2 points, 2 or 3 points. Yeah, 3 points. It was a close one. Dallas definitely held their own. A lot of people had Dallas down, 21 points at the beginning of the game. They were like, nah, there's no way they can hang into this, man. But Dallas went out there strong. On that one, I do want to talk about Amari Cooper and what he said before that game. He said, I think I'm the best receiver in the league. He also said it's a difference between thinking that you're the best and actually going out there and proving it. Do I think I'm the best? Yes. Have I proven it? I wouldn't say I have, man. So I want to talk about it real quick because I know Jello was very high on Amari Cooper after this game. Amari Cooper had over 110 receiving yards in this game. He went out there and proved that he was the number one wide receiver on that team. CD right behind him with, I believe, 86 yards. And then Michael Gallup went ahead and finished low on that. But, man, I'm super excited for what this Dallas Cowboys team had. Jello, what did you think on the Dallas Cowboys playing the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, man? Your thoughts?
I mean, this was kind of the team we saw before Dak went down last year. So, yeah, he was 42 for 58, so a great completion percentage. 403 yards, 3 touchdowns, and 1 interception. And the thing I really liked from Cooper and why I really, liked what he did this week was he had 13 receptions. So we did have 139 yards, so that puts it at a 10.1 average. And so, I mean, it's one thing to get yards, but it's one thing to be able to get those receptions as well. And that's a great sign to see that he will get those passes where he needs to. 13 receptions in one game. He had 2 touchdowns as well. You look at Lamb with 7 receptions, 104 yards, 14.9 average, and 1 touchdown. So you really see this team being what they were last year. And the only difference is really what we're going to see from Dallas is less of that rush end, more of that pass end at that point. So, I think that's going to be a big thing, and that's why I was really high on them, especially after this game. So, I really, really like what I'm seeing, though. So, it's the Cowboys we saw last year. As much as I like to hate on them, just got to do it because Eric's a fan. It's great to see it. These guys are working. These guys are doing what they love. So, I have to give respect where respect is due. So, I can't hate when, they're really going out there working, getting stuff done. Still going to hate on that backfield a little bit, but I do that to a lot of teams. So
yeah, you do. And that's fine. We'll go ahead and feed off the energy. Ian, I know you watched that game on Thursday night, whether you're at work or home, boy. How'd you feel about the Dallas Cowboys coming out there against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and only falling 3?
Dude, to be completely honest, I am pretty low on both those teams because, I'm an NFC West guy. But, man, I be running the ABC thing, anybody but the Cowboys. But, man, I was rooting for those Cowboys. Woo-wee. Debo looked not Debo. Fuck.
CD
Lamb looked so good to me. Oh, my goodness gracious. That dude working. And, man, Dak, I don't even know what else to say. He just ain't there.
What?
What do you mean he's not there?
I'm just kidding. I'm just playing with you. Bro, Dak, I didn't expect it. I really didn't. To be honest, be completely honest with you, I thought he would be horrible.
Holy shit. You good?
All right, Jello?
Earthquake in Denver?
I was saying, I went to just do this just in this biased comment right now. My phone fell over.
I just didn't see it.
How did you not see it? This man was the number one quarterback. You have to give respect.
No,
this man was
it's just the injury.
Top 5 for passing yards 4 weeks after he got hurt.
TK, so what you drinking? He's trying to decide what to get. Well, Tony, you need some Mad Dog 2020.
Well, I just don't know, bro. I just don't know.
Dak's going to be a top 5 quarterback all
I just didn't see it after the injury that he took. Most people don't get to post like that and drop back and drop his foot like that. People that snap their ankles like that don't get to drop and throw for 400, 300 plus, even 250 plus. He threw for 400 plus. Man, he looked so good. And I even had to text Eric and call Eric, be like, man, this dude looks good. He looks real good and scary good.
Yes, sir.
Scary good.
Let me go ahead and get the chat real quick here. Matt Faraci, what is poppin'? Fellas, you already know. My boy Matt Faraci gets a buzzer every time he comes up in here. Rick T Podcast, biggest fan in my opinion. Matthew Faraci 64. What is poppin'? What is crack-a-lackin', my brother? Hope you're doing well. Hope you're living right, bro. But bro, let's talk about some stuff that was unheard of. Not really in that game, man. So, or maybe you did hear about it. So Gronkowski and Tom Brady, man, 100 touchdowns together over their career. Tom Brady threw a touchdown to Gronk. He actually threw 2 in his Dallas game. But their first touchdown went ahead and put him at 100 touchdowns together. Outstanding. Honestly, I think that statistic is just great. You know what I mean? To have a tight end and a quarterback that can stick together like that through the years.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to bring up one topic and one topic alone. I texted it straight to you, Eric. I don't know if y'all remember it, but Madden 25. It's that 4 verticals when that tight end takes that one post. You draw in that middle linebacker, bro.
I don't mean to interrupt, but we have another one, man. Max Cole 11 said, Justin gang. Shout out to you, my boy.
Hey!
Oh, I guess I didn't have it.
My bad, Malik. My mic was muted, but thank you for tuning in. Real time, real true viewer coming in right now. Let's go.
Let's get it. Max Cole 11, a new viewer here on the Rick T Podcast. Definitely go drop that follow. Go drop a subscription on YouTube and follow us all on all social media platforms with the Rick T platform, Rick T Podcast. Talk your talk. How about them Cowboys? Cook out some fist fights, man. We get it popping, man. So appreciate you, Max Cole 11, man. Let's get to it. But Ian, get back to what you were saying.
Hey, just like what I was saying. Like, I feel like Tom Brady and Rob Gronkowski it's just the same as those 4 verticals on Madden 25, bro. You run it up the middle, you draw that middle linebacker, easy touchdown every time. And that's what I felt at the end of the Dallas game. They were just running them 2. It was them 2 with extra blockers. That's what it felt like to me. If we want to disregard the no call pass interference, which I'm sure you will elaborate on. If we want to call the no call pass interference, thank you. If we want to call the no call, because I had to text Eric right after, because that was atrocious. Not exactly, what was it, Rams Saints? No, Rams Saints. Rams Saints the other day. Not exactly that point, but oh my God, I almost want to delegate it to that. Because, like, man, that was atrocious. That was an atrocious no call.
What you got on it, Joe?
All right, just be short and sweet on this one real quick. You have to remember with this, too, Gronk got drafted in 2010. Being retired 1 year, that puts it at 10 seasons, average of 10 touchdowns per season with Brady, with 3 serious injuries and surgeries. So, I mean, I think that's what makes it so special, especially at a tight end perspective at that point.
Absolutely special. I'm not disregarding the fact that that is not a special thing that they can take to. They can take that to their grave just like their 6 rings. But
7. Brady.
Tom got 7. Yeah, Tom got 7. But yeah, Patriots got 6.
I'm just saying.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. Chat's going crazy.
I'm just saying it was.
Matt Farachi's in the chat saying Gronk is back. Honestly, I wouldn't go as far to say Gronk is back, but yeah, honestly, Tony, I agree 100% with you. Gronk surprised the shit out of me the other night. 2 touchdowns, the way he was running his routes, perfect. And that's why he's part of tight end U. You know what I mean? Tight end university is a real thing. They're sitting here trying to teach these tight ends how to play the game. If you want to know how to play the game of tight end, which is honestly, since I've been in high school, one of the most popular positions to get at. I was a receiver, and I used to get mad at tight ends for getting the ball more than me. And now in the NFL, there's 1,000-yard receiving tight ends that are also doing the same thing. Yeah, doing the same thing on the running back side when they're going out there blocking. You know what I mean? So I think tight end is an interesting position, and if you want to learn how to play it, Gronk is definitely one to watch. But I don't know if I would go as far to say Gronk is back. I think I need to see a little bit more out of him. I honestly even need to see a little bit more out of Tom Brady. I'm not even going to get into the side of the Cowboys until Thursday how about them Cowboys. But
hey, Eric, what do you think? Hey, chat and Eric and Jello, what do we think about who's the best tight end in the league right now? Who do we got?
That's easy.
Kelsey. It's Kelsey. If it was last year,
besides Travis Kelsey. Besides
Waller.
Besides the Chiefs.
Darren Waller.
Waller? Okay.
And Kittle.
I was about to say, we know what you're reaching for. You're not.
I'm not reaching. I'm not reaching. On God, I just want to know. I just want to know your opinion.
Besides Kelsey,
I am not reaching.
Besides Kelsey,
besides the guy that was injured all year last year and that didn't show you anything, I'm not reaching. I'm just asking for the opinion.
He's a fucking beast. Let's be real. Even Tony's saying Darren Waller, Travis Kelsey easily.
Waller.
Oh, Big Blue Jay. We got a Kittle here.
We got a Kelsey. We got a Kittle. We got a Waller. Exactly.
I got Waller at
second. It's a toss-up right now. It's a toss-up right now. I'm not reaching. I'm not asking for you to say it, Kittle.
So, and I know Jello will agree with me. Yeah. That's Tony's favorite thing. He's all looking at Jello or me, and he's all.
He's reaching. He's reaching.
Well, Tony, what are you doing? He's like, I can't.
No, I'm not reaching for those answers. Joe, chill, bro.
Reaching, and I know Jello's going to agree with me. There's a lot of tight ends.
I don't give a fuck about.
Hold on, I know Jello will agree with me on this. There's a lot of tight ends out there that's names not getting brought up that could easily be considered top 5.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of tight ends out there that are good. So
because I could ask the same question as wide receivers, and you guys bring up 50,000 wide receivers.
Well, receivers a little bit more spread out position.
Exactly,
too.
Broad. And then I bring up quarterbacks. We all battle it, but we all have the same.
Let's move on quickly. Let me get into some stuff that happened after the Cowboys game, man. So you guys watched it. Michael Gallup is out 3 to 5 weeks with the calf strain after Thursday night's game. Jello, I don't know how that affects you in fantasy, but I know you are a big fan of Michael Gallup, as am I. So
I didn't take him this year because of Amari and CeeDee Lamb alone, so I didn't touch him. But I mean, I like him. He's a CSU kid. I like what he does on the field and stuff like that. So I mean, once again, I don't want to see anybody get hurt. I don't care if it is like when it comes to the NFL. I don't want to see anyone get hurt. So it sucks. This happens. They sucks. They're losing them, but I mean, I guess this is a pickup going to be for like Blake Jarwin, different stuff like that. Maybe we'll see Zeke with some catches out of the backfield. I guess we'll just wait and see.
We'll see, man. Another thing that happened, man. Offensive tackle Lyle Collins suspended for 5 games, and let me just
be on them P.
Yeah. Now I can't contradict myself. Now I have to roast him the way I roast the goddamn. What's his name? Yeah, Will Fuller V. I have to roast him the same damn way.
Finally got to do it back. I've been waiting.
All right, let me go ahead and Lyle Collins. He's on the peds, baby. He's on them peds. You already know what it is. I had to go ahead and bounce back with it. I hate to see it, but Lyle Collins on the drugs. Jesus. Tony has a nice little concept about Dallas Cowboys guy. That Cedric Wilson kid is a dog. I had to pick him up when I saw Gallup out. So Cedric Wilson, he's honestly a very good player, but with the receiving core we have, he never really gets his chance. Some years I'll even think he's not going to make the roster, and he's been there for like 5 years. So he's definitely a consistent backup, and I'm excited to see what he does and what he has, man. But let's get into something a little bit quickly. Our second to last subject of today's show. Oh, and you guys know what we do with this one, man. Jello, you ready?
Let's do it.
Let's go ahead. You guys already know what it is. Who's popping? Who's dropping? With your boy Jello Retro. Jello, who you got for who's popping? Who's dropping this week, man?
All right, we're starting with who's dropping this week, and I'm talking about who's dropping this week. All right, so we're definitely going to the Baltimore Ravens with number 1. I mean, this one's crazy. You lose Marcus Peters, Gus Edwards, J.K. Dobbins for the year with ACL tears. You lose Justice Hill with an Achilles tear. You lose Miles Boykin until week 4 with a hamstring injury. You lose Rashad Bateman till week 4 with a groin injury. You lose Derek Wolfe for game 1 with a back injury that could sustain for the season at this point. So who do they have? This was the year they come out, Lamar throws the ball, and he does what he needs to do and gets those receivers what they need to. But now he's going to have to be a 1,200 yard runner at this point. So it's absolutely insane. So Ravens are dropping. I hate to see it once again. I don't want to see these players get hurt, but this team, fix your field, clear the divots, paint the lines where you see if there's anything wrong with it, because obviously something is if this many guys are getting hurt at practice. So moving on, got to go to Greg Z, baby. Got to go Greg Z on who's dropping this week. He missed a 31-yarder, a 60-yarder, and an extra point. He blew Matt's dreams of having a 20-point fantasy kicker as well. So, I mean, he can't do this. Once again, like, this is that time where if he does this throughout the year, what will this cost them at this point? So, especially with, his reputation, what he did with the Rams and so on and so forth, we can't be seeing this from him. I'm moving on to third for who's dropping. Mike Evans. Maybe this just wasn't his week, but 3 catches for 24 yards is not the Mike Evans we want to see. I don't care who you are, you cannot hate on this man. 7 straight seasons of 1,000 yards or more. And you start off, your 2021 season with 3 catches for 24 yards. Did Trevon Diggs have something to do with that?
Facts.
Absolutely. So, I mean, and that's just how that is at that point. So, and that's how it's going to be. But now we're moving to who's popping. This was the first one caught me off guard. It's the last person I expected to be here on who's popping, but Antonio Brown got 5 grabs, 121 yards, 4.2 average, and a touchdown. This is the old AB we saw with Pittsburgh. This is 2012 AB. So, I mean, it's one of those things where he's working. I'm moving on to the next one. Already kind of shot it out, but let me throw some statistics on top of it. Amari Cooper and the Dallas Cowboys, definitely on who's popping. I don't care that they lost. You have to look at it this way. They had more first downs than the Bucs, 30-24. Their third down conversion rate was better for 9 for 17 for the Cowboys and 5 for 11 for the Bucs. They had more plays, 77-64. Penalties, there were 8 for 55 yards. The Bucs had 11 for 106 yards. Fumbles lost, 0 for the Cowboys, 2 for the Buccaneers. Interceptions, 1 for the Cowboys, 2 for the Buccaneers. And those are offensive interceptions at that point. Time of possession, 34-27 for the Cowboys, 25-33 for the Buccaneers. Total yardage, the Cowboys were up by 20 yards. So
the Cowboys look like a better team.
Exactly, and that's absolutely
the Cowboys look like a better team.
Exactly, and that's how they played. They lost the game by a field goal. Things happen at that point, but they did better than I thought they were, especially on the defense. Then offense,
you say things happen at that point. Tom Brady happened at that point.
Yeah, it was a bunch of things at that point. But moving on to number 3 for who's popping right now, Bryce Young set the school record for TDs and yards in a game in a debut, with 27 for 38, 344, 4 touchdowns, no interceptions. This looks like a quarterback that's not going to be making any big mistakes. People were putting thousands of dollars for Alabama to lose, and that was the easiest money those guys ever made on the other end of that. So it's another one. It was a 44-13 win against Miami. So it was a good thing to see. De'Aaron King, he brought the words, but Young brought the game. So, it's absolutely. But once again, that's who's popping, who's dropping. This is Jello. Let's get it.
That's great work, my boy Jello. Who's popping? Who's dropping? Popping. Antonio Brown, Dallas Cowboys. Bryce Young, dropping. Ravens. Greg DeLeg, Mike Evans, man. And we'll go ahead and I'll go ahead and throw an honorable mention in there personally. It's got to be the game 1 referees. Those dudes fucking sucked. Much like a lot of refs do, whether it's college football or NFL. But goddamn, man, I'll go ahead and put it on the screen again. It's,
in my opinion, if I may,
you may not.
I feel like
if it has nothing, if it has something to do with that's a no call, it's great no call.
Oh, absolutely,
you may not.
Absolutely. I've told you a million times that is a missed call. 100% that is a missed call. But they definitely ref that game. They let them play until that one play. They did let them play. They let them boys play. Aggressive. They let them play the way that football should be played until that one play that should have been called where it cost them the game. And that's just kind of how football goes. If they're going to let the boys play, then let the boys play. And then it just comes down to somebody getting a cost. Go ahead.
Fuck that.
That
was boo-boo.
Out here, too, something referees are supposed to do in this game. I'm not saying I'm not going to side with either side when it comes to this play, but when they look at hand fighting, it's probably the one reason they didn't call it one way and they called it the other. They look at that hand fighting if both are getting at it. Yes, in that picture, and it shows it was a push-off at that point. But with the hand fighting, they look at it as he could have already been unsteady on his feet. So there's so many things that go into this that we probably didn't see, at that, the footage they have and the cameras they have completely different from what we see on ESPN, because ESPN is going to show one side, not the other at that point. But, the biggest thing there is he was in that back pedal, and it could have looked unsteady. There could have been a step where maybe it slipped. So there's so many things that go into it, which is tough. There are some absolutely horrible missed calls, and the refs get punished for that. But this is one of those ones where it's way too easy for it to go one way or the other. And that's a completely unbiased opinion at that point. It could have gone either way, and there's good defenses for each side of it as well. So it's just, really what you have to look at is a million different things. So they really have to really look into it and make that right call. And the line for this, down the line, that could be a reprimand. That could be, a bad spot on their record down the line. So they always want to make the right call. So, sometimes there's tough calls and they have to make it. But, we
always want to say it could be that, could be this. And you always have to understand that DB's back pedal and wide receivers front pedal. So if someone changes direction and his arm's here, it's going to be a push if he stops, no matter what.
Did you just call running? Did you just call running front pedaling?
Yeah, bitch. I did.
He's like, hey, DB's back pedal, receivers front pedal. I was like,
exactly.
Wait, what?
How do you run a pedal? What do you mean?
No, that was good
Let's
shit.
hear it. Yeah,
No, 100%
I
agree,
knew
man.
it. Hey, Justin, let me see it. Pull it up. Yeah. Thanks, Tony. Appreciate it. But we run and we backpedal. You know what I'm saying?
It's like an offensive lineman.
Hey, there's a difference if you don't have your balance for it.
All right.
If you don't have it, yeah, whatever.
If you're backpedaling and your foot slips a little bit.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like it is so contradictory.
Guys, we're going to get into our final commercial break before we finish the Rick T Podcast Season 2, Episode 20 with our NFL picks for tomorrow. It's going to be intense. But on the other side of the break, we are going to get front pedaling right into our NFL picks, and I'm super excited. Ian, you know I got to fuck with you a little bit. Man. Angel HD Graphics, I'm going on a light front pedal tomorrow morning if anyone wants to join.
Hey, I'm with you, boy.
Honestly, I'll front pedal over to your house and we can go front pedal together.
I'm front pedal your mom.
What? Oh my god! All right, we're not doing this. Let's just go to commercial.
I'm just kidding. Let's go to commercial.
Only one thinking Tyreek Hill would win this, Tony. I mean, besides Tyreek Hill, I guess. You know.
Hey, Tony, if this race happens, how much money are we putting on it?
Ooh, we have a wager, Tony. Tony, the question's out.
I'll put whatever's in my wallet right now.
Ooh, what's in your wallet? What's in your wallet, Jello? Pull your wallet out.
All right, let's see.
Let's see it. How much is Jello rolling with?
So we got 1, 2, 3, 20, 40, 60, 84, 20, 40, 60, 85. I don't know, like 600, 700.
This dude got rent money in his wallet. Giannis is at the line and he's like counting his hundreds. That's Jello, bro.
Yeah.
Hey, you got all that money and you still one of two that hasn't turned into fantasy money.
I don't have Cash App. For my business, I use PayPal and Venmo.
Obviously, you got the money. I see it right there in your hand. Jesus Christ. Hey, guys, check this.
Number 2, Surtain. Oh, Vikings football.
Are you calling him PS2 for real? There's literally a PlayStation that's called PS2.
That's why we're calling him that.
He's on Madden mode, bro. He's out there killing it.
His rating on Madden is probably garbage.
Yeah, that's fair.
I don't
probably
know.
Better than any cornerback you guys have in Dallas, though.
His rating's still better than the
argue
Cowboys' decision making, so we're good. Yes.
All right, well, we're going to get to a commercial break since you guys just wanted to get mad disrespectful. I'll see you guys next Sunday.
Football is a microcosm of America. All races, religions, living, playing, competing side by side. I pray we dedicate ourselves to be the best team we can be. Let's choose to be for one another, to fulfill the promise of one nation, to be part of the solution, be part of the change, to try harder, show up, dive in, and stay at it.
Oh, can we touch for a second? Be us for a second. No matter what I give it to, my love looks better on you.
Oh, shit. Honestly, guys, I wasn't prepared to come back from commercial at all. But let's go ahead and get to Jello, man. Jello, what up, bro?
What up? That was
rough. Yeah, rough. Let's just go ahead and get through the picks, bro. Go ahead and save it with the graphic, man. NFL pick'em. We're gonna get to me, yours, and Tony's picks. So Tony, go ahead and drop your picks in the chat. Justin, please go ahead and write these down so we can keep it even pull. We do have a bet on these. Who's gonna get the most right picks between me, Tony, and Jello? So we are just gonna keep track of mine and Jello's right now. But Jello, let's get into it, my boy. This is gonna be fun.
Let's do it.
So let's start off, man. Eagles Falcons tomorrow, 11 a.m. at Falcons. What do you got on this one?
So for the Falcons game, I got Falcons winning 21-14.
21-14, you got the Falcons winning?
Yes, sir.
Okay, I got the Eagles winning this one, honestly, 21-14. So I guess we can go ahead and split that one. I do think Jalen Hurts comes out here and kind of shows why he's the young gun of the future for the Philadelphia Eagles. To where I don't necessarily think that Matt Ryan, with his first game coming off of here without Julio, and yes, he did have Julio. He didn't have Julio a lot last year, but I just don't know. Not having him even on the sideline, I feel is a comfortability thing for Matt Ryan, which I think it might make a difference.
That's all I got to say.
What'd you say?
Mike Davis, Kyle Pitts, Calvin Ridley.
Can I ask you a fantasy question real quick? Do you think Mike Davis is cold, like real good?
Fantasy, not as much. He's, really that, 4 yardage guy, but he can get touchdowns. So the Falcons are definitely going to use him in the red zone, but they still have Todd Gurley. So we have to remember that as well. So that's where that could go either way in a split ball backfield.
Yeah, honestly, I agree with that. Do they still have Todd Gurley?
Yes, they do. I
thought he was a free agent. Honestly, he might be on there.
I thought he stayed in ATL. I mean, he went to Georgia. I thought he re-signed. I could be wrong. Don't quote me on that.
No, that's real. That's real. Let's get into the second 11 o'clock game, and this is all Colorado time, man. So if you are on the eastern side of town, go ahead and base it 2 hours ahead. If you're on the western side of town, go ahead and base it an hour behind, man. So let's get it. Second 11 o'clock game, and I'm excited for this one. I think this is a heavy hitter matchup right out the gates. Steelers, the first 11-0 team of last year, versus the Bills, who you had in the Super Bowl and who a lot have in the Super Bowl this year, behind Josh Allen and Stephon Diggs, man. So who do you got in this one, and what are you thinking?
I think Steelers are going to struggle in this game. I think Ben's really going to have an issue getting it together. It will be Najee Harris's first game. They do have Pat Freiermuth, you have Juju, but I don't think those receivers are going to be what they need to be. So I got Steelers in this one, I got Bills winning this one 31-17.
Nice. 31-17. You got Bills winning. And we do have a new viewer, Don Clark. Can I get some fantasy advice? Of course you can get some fantasy advice. Is that even a question here on the Rick T podcast?
Absolutely.
Of course you can get some fantasy advice. If you have a fantasy question, you can either call in at the live show and ask it live, or you can definitely go ahead and put it in the chat and we will give you an answer right here, right now. But of course you can get fantasy advice, Don. Of course, don't ever ask that. Just come out with it. Say, what would you guys do? You know what I mean? Oh, the good part. My boy TGP is here. Said, nope, no Gurley, but they have Cordell Patterson and Wayne Gallman.
Okay, so maybe, at that point, Davis' stock might drop a little bit because your big touchdown guy could be Cordell Patterson. I mean, that's another guy I like to see. Gallman could be that hit or miss.
Let me take this first real quick. Let me take it. So
is it PPR? That's all I'm going to ask.
Yes, if it's PPR, I would definitely go Kareem Hunt. Honestly, I think he'll probably touch the ball a little bit more than Micah Pittman. You don't think so?
Not a PPR, it's Pittman all day. Because you have
like
to
points per reception.
Well, yeah, Ty is injured, so
that's true. I consider Micah Pittman, even with Ty there right now, I consider Micah Pittman the number one receiver out there in Indianapolis
for the season. So
yeah, so I honestly would go Micah Pittman either way. I just think Kareem Hunt's going to get the ball more, and that's just from me having Kareem Hunt last year in fantasy. Jello told me all the time, why do you have someone who splits so many carries? I don't know necessarily if Kareem is going to split as many carries as he did last year, but I haven't seen any idea or any progress in Nick Chubb just taking over 100% of the or 100% of carries.
Ooh,
standard points. See, but that's hard because, like I just said, is Kareem Hunt splitting the carries again?
Well, so that's a big one too, and how they're going to use him because Chubb is still technically the number one, and he was hurt last year, so Kareem got more time. In this week one, I mean, I like Hunt, but I think I would go Pittman at this point.
I need to see the schedule real quick. So who do the Browns play?
So the Colts
The Chiefs?
are playing the Seahawks. So, once again, you could expose that backfield a tiny bit there. And then the Chiefs are playing the Browns, and the Browns have a great offensive, a great defensive line. They got Myles Garrett, Jadeveon Clowney. They added John Johnson in the backfield. They have Koromoa. They have what they need to. I think I'd go Pittman in this matchup for week 1.
And I'm gonna 100% agree with Jello. Honestly, just week 1. Don't go ahead and just mark that in your brain as that should be what it is every week, especially for your flex position is what you're looking for. Don't put him in there every week. But for week 1, I'm gonna go ahead and agree with Jello and say Michael Pittman is the right choice for that one. You know what I mean? He said, yeah, Chubb stole his glory. 100% agreed, and that's why we're saying go Michael Pittman, because he's about to steal T.Y.'s glory.
Exactly.
Instead of getting his glory stolen from Nick Chubb. You know what I'm saying? So
right, absolutely.
I don't know. This would be intense, man. But let me get into this second game. You went ahead and said you got the Bills in this one, correct?
Bills 31-17.
31-17. You think they take quite a nice deficit over the Pittsburgh Steelers? I'm going to 100% agree with you. I don't think the Steelers have what it takes to stop this Bills offense or defense. I picked up the Bills defense late in fantasy, and people went, did you really pick up the Bills defense? Are they that good? And I said, no, but they win a lot of damn games. So if you can depend on somebody to win you games and take you far, that's why the Kansas City Chiefs go so far. And Don Clark, thank you guys. Loving the show. Appreciate you so much, Don. You can ask for fantasy advice anytime, anywhere. You can also ask my boy Dallas Clark over at the THC show. He does a lot of fantasy advice. He does fantasy videos and stuff like that as well. So definitely stay in tune with the Rifty podcast and we'll get it popping, man. But appreciate you for asking that question here in chat, man. But yeah, honestly, game 2, I got the Bills. I'm going to go ahead and agree with you. I got it 31-17. I don't think the Steelers have offensively or defensively anything to stop Josh Allen, Stephon Diggs, like you said, Emmanuel Sanders. I'm very high on Devin Singletary. There's a lot of firepower on this Buffalo Bills team.
And then that's only putting them up 2 scores, so it's not like it's really a blowout at the point. It's a 2-score game, which absolutely this team could do so.
Facts, 100%, man. Swinging it to the third 11 o'clock game, man, and this one should be interesting. The Minnesota Vikings are traveling to Ohio to play the Cincinnati Bengals, and this is at 11 o'clock Mountain Standard Time. So, Jello, what do you got on this one and why?
So this one might be a little bit of a surprise. I got Bengals 24-21, and I love Adam Thielen. I love Justin Jefferson. I love Dalvin Cook. I think those guys are going to really be the scorers in this game. I think they're each going to split a touchdown each in this game, but I think Kirk Cousins is going to make just one more mistake than he should have, and that's what's going to cost him here. I think it's going to be one of those late game pressure situations where Cousins always hasn't been the best. You throw that interception or one of those bad passes, like even Jefferson yelled at him from the end zone last year. So I think that's what's going to cost him here. They're going to bring it down. Bengals are going to come out, get that kick, take week 1 for Mr. Joey B.
Hey, I like your take, but I couldn't agree at all with that. I have the Vikings winning this one 28-10. I think Justin Jefferson, Alan Thielen, and Dalvin Cook come out here and just control the game. I know they are on offense, and people like to say defense controls the game, but no, I think these 3 offensively are going to come out here and run shit. I do think Joe Burrow is a really good quarterback. I do think he's back and healthy. But we said it even when the draft happened, and we've been saying it for months after the draft. They didn't help him. You know what I mean? They literally have the ACL in his New Jersey pictures. You know what I mean? So it's like you really just you're gambling on Jamar Chase. And there was actually a statement that he just came out with a couple days ago. And they said, why did you have so many drops in preseason? Jamar Chase said, because the NFL ball doesn't have the little white spinny things on the tip.
Yeah.
And everyone's like, what the did he just say that? Like, wow. But honestly, I do have the Vikings, like I said, 28-10. Like Matt Ferracci said, Vikings, Justin Jefferson about to go off. And honestly, I think this is more of a Dalvin Cook game. I've been really low on him fantasy-wise, but I do think he comes out here and just runs all over the Cincinnati defense. So I got Cincinnati. Hope you're writing these down, Justin, because we about to put some big stuff on this bet, man. It's
been down, so we good to go.
Oh, okay. Jello got the stats. Jello got it ready and pop a lock, and I like it, man. Like I said, Matt Ferracci said Vikings. Big Blue Jay is out here saying Vikings. Seems like Big Blue Jay and Matt are at the same house taking the same guesses from the same, maybe phone. They're I'm pretty sure they agreed 3 for 3. Eagles, Bills, Eagles. and they both had the Vikings. So I don't know. You guys on a date? Just fucking with you. Let's continue on to the fourth game. This is the 11 o'clock game, and I will pop my guy Deadly on for this because I know he has something to say about the San Francisco 49ers, man. But Jello, we'll start off with you, man. 49ers travel up there to Detroit to take on the knee-biting, ankle-biting, knee-scraping, newborn Detroit Lions, man. How you feeling on this one? Who do you got?
All right, so this is another one, more of a kind of game. I got 49ers taking it 24-9. We're going to have Goff in a whole new scheme they did add Penei Sewell, but you have no Marvin Jones, no Kenny Golladay. They drafted Amon-Ra St. Brown. You have DeAndre Swift. Their defense is the factor here. Is Okudah going to stay healthy? Are these linebackers and Tavai going to be able to do what they need to? And I think that's where they give it up here, and they drop 3 touchdowns and a field goal here. To the 49ers. So I think the 49ers will definitely start off a lot hotter than them. Their defense is definitely much better than Detroit. I don't think the Lions get a touchdown here in week 1.
Wow. And honestly, I agree with you. I do think this is a 49ers blowout. I agree with Big Blue Jay as well. He's saying 49ers blowout in chat. Honestly, what scares me about this Detroit Lions team, and I don't necessarily think they'll be good. I'm sitting here calling a blowout, but what scares me about them is we know nothing about them. Everything's new. The head coach is new. The quarterback's new. They have a really new O-line. There's a new defensive scheme going on there. Like the Detroit Lions could potentially, and I like I said, I have the 49ers blowing them out, but they could potentially have something secretive up there in Detroit that no one knows about and we won't find out about until tomorrow. And that's what I'm excited to see. On the 49ers side of the ball, I'm excited to see how they mix up the quarterback situation. We've only seen Jimmy Garoppolo and Trey Lance share through preseason, which is what they're supposed to do. But I wonder if Kyle Shanahan mixes it up during the regular season and throws Trey Lance in there during like a wildcat formation, or maybe throws him out there with Jimmy Garoppolo in there as well. You know what I mean? Like, I'm just excited. And Kyle Shanahan is one of the best offensive-minded head coaches in the game. I'm excited to see what he does with two weapons like Trey Lance and Jimmy Garoppolo. But I do have the 49ers winning this one. What score did you have, honestly?
24-9.
You have 24-9, so I got 49ers winning this one. I'll go 17-3. I'll keep it low scoring, but it's still a little blowout. You know what I'm saying? I'll keep it lower just because I don't really know what the 49ers have in store as well. My guy here, 49ers easy as hell. Jesus, my guy. They're saying 49ers blowout, and we do have another new viewer. My guy, Mike Clark, is here. Sounds like a Dawn Clark has got her husband or her son or somebody in here. I appreciate you for tuning into the Rick T podcast, Mike and Dawn. Anybody tuning in, man. So let me go ahead and give you guys a buzzer as we do all of our new viewers and our favorite viewers. Turn it the hell up. Mike Clark, he said, I have Lawrence and Chark. Should I sit them both? Standard point. So we have another fantasy question here. Jello, I'll go ahead and let you have it first.
All right. So the question here is, do you who's your other quarterback if you have a second quarterback at this point, and what other receivers do you have? Because it really depends on who else you have, especially for this week 1, whether you'd start him or you'd sit him at that point. So let's just hear what other quarterback you have if you do, other receivers, stuff like that, and it'll definitely help make that a question a little easier. Because I do like Lawrence, I do like Chark, but it's almost like weighing your options at that point.
See, and I kind of have a different perspective on it. I honestly think Chark is going to be fine, even with the statement he made about the white lines on the ball and him having his drops in preseason.
DJ Chark. He's talking about DJ Chark for.
Oh, okay. I thought he was talking about old boy from freaking Cincinnati. I was about to lose my shit. So DJ Chark and we're Dallas Clark's parents. My boy Dallas. I appreciate you for putting your parents on. That's dope. I'm glad his parents are coming in here asking for fantasy advice. I'm glad to give it to you. But honestly, my opinion on it is Trevor Lawrence is unproven. So my girlfriend has Trevor Lawrence in fantasy, and she was like, do I start Trevor Lawrence or do I start Ryan Tannehill? I said Ryan Tannehill easy. She was like, but Trevor Lawrence tore Dallas up in preseason. Like, what I seen it with my own 2 eyes. And I said, it's preseason. It was a number 1 offense going against a number 3 defense. That is not going to be the same this week when they go ahead and go up against somebody else. You know what I mean? I don't know specifically who they play, but I don't think Trevor Lawrence is going to go out there and just ball out. So personally, they play who? Scratch
this. I would play them. They're playing the Texans. Because the Texans just traded Bradley Roby, so I'd play them.
That makes shit so much.
from Mike to Mike, I'd play him. Ooh.
I have options. I played Brady.
I mean, it depends on who they're going up against this week. For this week 1, I like what Brady did, don't get me wrong. But, I mean, they are playing the Texans. So, I think anybody, if you're playing the Texans that week, kind of play those players at that point. But I like Lawrence once again. And, you know, it's all speculation. Once again, these players could pop off hot like Herbert or take some time to really grow as well. But I do like DJ Chark. I mean, what he was able to do with Minshew and even Nick Foles for that one game. So
he said, I got Lawrence in 3 leagues as a backup.
Well,
See, and that's where I think he should sit for at least 3 weeks, honestly, just to see what he has.
That's why I picked up Justin Fields in 1 league.
Just to at least see if he comes in and balls out, but you still have him on the back burner.
When your bye week's at week 8. Because at that point, too, if something were to happen, you have him. Or even in the point where he stays healthy all year, then boom, you have him for that 1 week, and who knows what he'll be doing and stuff like that, and you have that viable option. I mean, if you have him on as a backup, it's definitely good to have him. But if you do have Brady, I would keep Brady in that rotation. Solid guy. Look what he did against Dallas in week 1. That's points upon points upon points at that point. He gets touchdowns, so I'd keep Brady.
Yeah.
And Chark, you know, he's not necessarily a wild card at that point.
I would still sit him.
Receiver, you know, this is coming into, you know, year 4 for him at this point. So if he could stay healthy, I like Chark and what he can do. And he could definitely be an 800-plus yard. But I think the big thing for Chark is he can catch touchdowns. So he will be sharing Jr. and LaVisca Chenault. They do have James Robinson. There's no ETN. Colin Johnson's to the practice squad. So it's definitely looking up for him.
All right. Appreciate you, Mike Clark. Great show, dog. We appreciate you for tuning in to the Rick T Podcast. Live here every Saturday night. We have Talk Your Talks on Wednesday. And if you're interested in the Cowboys, how about them Cowboys on Thursday morning, man? We're going to get into that as well. But moving on, man, let's go ahead and bring Ian Mack on here for his 49ers take real quick. Ian, 49ers tomorrow morning, taking on the Lions. How you feeling on this one? Keep it quick. Keep it brief.
Brief and quick?
Yeah, please.
35-0.
Jesus. Like that?
Mm-hmm.
Like
most
that? 35?
Most are going to run for 300 yards and 3 touchdowns.
Jesus, man. I love it, honestly.
Defensive line for the Lions is really good. The outside defensive line and their secondary just don't impress me, and it's just going to be easy. It's going to be easy. Just like you said, it's a blowout. I'm going to play the 49ers season off of the next week because this one's just going to be too easy for them.
Love it, bro. Appreciate your opinion. Let's continue on. Keep moving forward. Jello, next game, man. And this is still a bunch of 11 o'clock games. We're going to have a busy morning tomorrow morning. Next game, Cardinals travel down to Tennessee to take on the Titans. Jello, who do you got on this one?
So I think this one's my game of the week. I think this is the game where, you know, the highlights are going to be popping from. I got Titans winning 24-23. There's so many unknown variables as how is AJ Green going to be for Cardinals? How is Watt going to be? How is Bud Dupree going to be for the Titans at that point? How is Julio going to come out and play? So on and so forth. So, you know, I got to start it for week 1. I got Titans taking it 24-23.
Just reading chat right now. Sorry about that. He said, great show. Love y'all. Matt said, TK off the yak. He said, no, multitasking right now and thought I heard them say that was the end. I'm about to be, though. Oh, my man. Big Blue Jay Titans by less than a touchdown. Matt Fracci saying Titans 29-27.
Man, see, we all agree in that aspect. So
I'm going to go ahead and be bold here.
There's no Patrick Peterson for Arizona now. He's with Indianapolis. So there's so many unknowns. It's really the defensive side of things where I think this really comes into play.
So I'm going to be bold here, and this is, I think, where we disagree is I'm not very high on Kyler Murray as a fantasy quarterback, but as a quarterback who can scramble and has great accuracy, I really do like what he has. And then he has Hopkins and AJ Green, and then he has a couple running back two-headed monsters now. And that defense, like you said, yes, it's missing Patrick Peterson. It's missing a bunch of little key pieces here and there. But I think as long as their offense can go ahead and play to the standards that at least the team they're playing is, which in this case is the Titans. I think as long as the Cardinals offense can play as good as the Titans offense, I do think that the Cardinals pull it out by 3. So I got the Cardinals winning this one 30-27, but I wouldn't be surprised if the Titans came and pulled it out by a close one as well. I do agree with you guys on that one. I think this is going to be a closer game than a lot of people think. I do. Next game, man. Seahawks at Colts. You talked about this one a little sooner. You're very high on Russell Wilson and DK Metcalf, but you also talked about Micah Pittman. Who you got on this one, Jello?
For the Seahawks game?
Seahawks Colts, yep.
I got Seahawks winning 28-24. Once again, I think this could be a high-power offense, and I think their defense is much better this year than people think. Same with their offensive line. And it's not going to be by much by any means. This is still a good Colts team when you look at, you have Darius Leonard. You added Eric Fisher this year, Michael Pittman, Carson Wentz, so on and so forth. You have Quentin Nelson. So I think the Hawks take it 28-24, just a 4-point victory.
I like it, and I agree with you on this one, but just for different reasons. Let me go ahead and get to the chat real quick. He said, I talked Mikey into getting 2K. No fucking way. You're lying. He can be the coach, bro. I bet he'd be a good coach. Matt Faraci is saying Seahawks 35-20. He's saying Colts by 3.
Me and Jason are, we're in the same boat with his last couple.
So this is the reason, and I do have the Seahawks winning this one, but I have them winning it by at least 17. We'll just go ahead and put it at an even 15. I'll go ahead and say, or we'll go ahead and put it 16. I'll say 14-30. That's how I think this game will finish. I think Seahawks will win it, but not for the reason that I think the Colts are bad or that the Seahawks are good. I think that Carson Wentz probably has rushed himself back. His injury was like a 6-month injury, and he came back in
6 week.
Okay, so 6-week injury, and he came back in 2. I think that's rushed back a little bit. And then for Quentin Nelson to be doing the same thing, and they're both supposed to be starting week 1. I'm not saying they're going to be bad, or I'm not saying anything's wrong with that, but it makes me a little less confident in how healthy they're going to be throughout the year and maybe even in this game. You know what I mean? So I think the Seattle Seahawks take advantage of that. They put a lot of pressure on Carson Wentz. They put a lot of doubles and stunt moves and stuff on Quentin Nelson. He is the best guard in the game, but off of a leg injury or a foot injury, and then coming back and there's a bunch of people doing a bunch of mixed shit at you. That's hard. That's not easy. And then Carson Wentz is not going to be able to, take off and run and do his original thing like he is pretty decent at doing. So I got the Seahawks winning this one 14-30. But I wouldn't count the Colts out for weeks in advance, and I wouldn't count the Seahawks out of losing for weeks in advance. You know what I'm saying? I don't necessarily think either team is good or bad. I just think in this specific situation, it's tough. It's tough for the Colts to win this one, which is why I was so shocked when he said Colts by 3. So, oh shit, Jason got 2K too. Oh God, dude, let's hit the park tonight. I'm on. Moving on to the next game, man. This is I believe one of the last 11 o'clock games. Chargers travel down to Washington, D.C. and play the Washington football team. Who you got in this one, Joe? And I said it on How About Them Cowboys. I got the Washington football team winning this one. Like, I want to say 21-7, but I think Justin Herbert is more capable of putting up more than 7 points. So we'll go ahead and say 28-14.
I got Chargers winning this 21-17.
Wow.
They drafted Rashawn Slater. They got Corey Linsley from the Packers. They added Jared Cook. I think they did pretty well in the draft as well, overall. So I think they take this. I think their offense is just enough. I mean, their offense is definitely more stellar than Washington's offense overall. We don't know what Fitzpatrick could do this year. Is it going to be start off hot, or is it going to be start off cold? Their defense is amazing, but their backfield is what's going to struggle. So I think that Lions could be able to protect Herbert just enough to where he can get these passes off. And, everyone's saying Mike Williams is a sleeper this year, so I'm definitely going Chargers winning 21-17.
It's split. Matt Faraci saying Washington football team 24-21. Tony saying he agrees with you, but I gotta agree with my boy Matt. Jason pops in here and says Chargers by 10. This may not necessarily be my game of the week, but I think this might be my important game to watch in the morning. You know what I mean? It might be one of the games I definitely keep my eyes on at all times because, for one, the NFC East is the division that Dallas is in. And for 2, I'm very high on Justin Herbert, and I'm excited to see how this game ends up because the whole chat, me and you were split. I'm excited to see what this one does. You know what I'm at? Tomorrow morning, 11 a.m., going to be interesting. Moving on to the next game, man. A couple more 11 a.m. games. And this one, I'm excited for Jigga Man. Jigga Man has floor seats for this game tomorrow morning. His wife surprised him a couple days ago and said, here you go. Go to the Jets game on Sunday. Have a great time. Live life. Get a great vlog and go ahead and put it on the Jigga Man Porto show, man. So the Jets take on the Panthers down there in North Carolina tomorrow morning at 11 a.m. So, Jello, think wisely before you speak on this one. Who do you have?
All right, Jigga might not agree with me here, but this is going off strict offense. I think with McCaffrey back, you got Chuba Hubbard. They added
Oh,
Royce.
Chuba's mad, man.
You do have Sam Darnold. You drafted Terrence Marshall. You have DJ Moore, Roby Anderson. I got Panthers winning 17-14. I think Wilson's going to come off and fire a couple nice touchdowns. But there's also defense as well, and I think these are both teams where their defense evens out at this point. But I think Panthers take it by 3. Big thing is Sam Darnold. You know the former Jets. He's playing his former team for the first time at this point. And this could be his first real shot. With the Jets, he did have issues from back and forth at that point. So I know I'm going to get yelled at about it, but I got Panthers by 3 points, just 17-14. I think overall it's going to be a decent game.
So honestly, I agree with you on that. I think it's going to be honestly a magnificent game. I feel like it's two franchises that are kind of restarting and building from the bottom up. So we're going to get to see a whole new side of the New York Jets and a whole new side of the Carolina Panthers. You brought up Chuba Hubbard. Madman, dude. He's a backup running back, but he's like Tony Pollard, where if he was on a half of the NFL teams, he could start. You know what I'm saying? I seen him in preseason. Went ahead and seen him at Oklahoma State University. He was magnificent. And I just got a word from backstage that he's actually their kick returner tomorrow. So we will see a lot of little Chuba Hubbard. Don't know if he's necessarily a fantasy pickup right now, but that's definitely someone to keep your eyes on for the near future. I don't think Christian McCaffrey coming off of a leg injury is going to get carry after carry after carry after carry. He's definitely going to get his touches, but I think they're maybe going to be a little bit smarter with him after this leg injury, after what happened last year and stuff like that. I don't think you can go in there and be like, you're a robot. Just go get hit 37 times a game. Why don't we just put Chuba in? You know what I mean? He can do the same exact thing, maybe even a little better in certain areas. So I got the Panthers. I do think it's going to be a close game, but I think it's going to be a high scoring game, bro. I think it's Panthers 34-31.
Dang.
So yeah, I think it's going to be really high scoring, bunch of weapons, new weapons on each side. So I think it'll be intense. Matt Faraci said, I'm just playing about the score. I say 35-31 Jets. See, and that's how I have it. High score, but I do have the Panthers pulling it out. But it'll be interesting to see, man. Getting on to the next game. This is the last 11 o'clock game tomorrow. We talked about this a little bit, answering Don and Mike's fantasy questions. But Jaguars travel down to Texas and play the Texans. 11 a.m. Mountain Standard Time. Jello, who do you have on this one? You kind of spoke it into existence earlier, but what you got?
I got Jaguars winning 17-6. There is no Kiki Kuti. He has been cut. Tyrod Taylor is your starter. Bradley Roby is gone. J.J. Watt is gone. They have nobody. They're really hoping Tunsil keeps his lungs in place. He's not going to get hit as much as people. God, that was an awful joke. I just realized that's not where I was going with it. I was going off the sacks. That didn't go out well. But I got Jags winning 17-6 here. I think they'll get a couple field goals, but that's going to be it. I'm not saying the Jaguars have a stellar defense by any means, but I think the Jags offense is just that much better than the Texans at this point. Overall, there's more solid, there's more receivers. They have a better running back. Houston's got 4 running backs. How are you going to use Ingram, David Johnson, Phillip Lindsay, and Rex Burkhead as a whole in this point to do anything? I don't think that's going to be a factor. And I think they have enough on the defensive end to stop them. So I think the Texans really flop here. And, just goes to show how bad their decision-making is.
So, yeah, the Texans' decision-making has been bad for quite a long time. Like you said, no more J.J. Watt, no more Hopkins. They have Deshaun Watson on the unable to perform list right now for this week at least, saying it's not injury-related. So we know what it is. He's definitely still trying to get out of there. So I definitely got Jacksonville winning this one 17-3. I don't necessarily think Houston even gets necessarily any touchdowns on the board, maybe a field goal. Maybe they start knocking on the back door sometime in the game and get 3 points out of it. But I do not have them being competitive, especially even against a Jacksonville Jaguars team where I'm not truly sold on Trevor Lawrence yet. I'm not truly sold on Chark or Marvin Jones Jr. in this roster yet. You know what I mean? There's a lot of ifs on the Jaguars side, and I still think they're going to go ahead and beat them 17-3. So, and it's split kind of even on this one too. Tony Cave is saying Jags by 143. I think he meant 14, and his pinky finger must have swiped the 3 or something like that. Jason saying Houston by 14, so that's interesting.
Wow.
Matt is saying Jags 17-7. That's kind of where I'm headed at that one. And Big Blue Jay said, I believe in Tyrod. That's why he thinks that the Houston Texans can pull it out. I guess we're gonna have to see. I agree with you though, Jello. I don't see how 4 decent running backs can make one good running back. Like, it just doesn't happen that way.
Make it work. Like, in the end of it, I don't think David Johnson's been a flop. Ingram's getting a little bit older. Rex Burkhead's older. I mean, Lindsey could be if he stays healthy. So there's not enough to really be like they're going to score 30 points at.
Yeah, I think Lindsey is considered their starter, but even that is still like,
Right.
you know. Yeah, sorry, Jags by 14. I was like 143. God damn, the Texans suck. I was like, the Texans truly suck. Getting into our afternoon games, our first game, 2:25 Mountain Standard Time, and this one I think may be the game of the week in my opinion. The Cleveland Browns take on the Kansas City Chiefs. They travel down there to Kansas City to take on I almost said Matt Faraci and the Kansas City Chiefs. Patrick Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs, man. Jello, how do you have this one? How do you have this one playing out?
All right, so I think this is going to be a closer game than people think. I have Chiefs taking this game 28-24. This Browns defense, I think, has really been undervalued, especially with the pickups they've had this offseason. And, you know, Baker Mayfield, people hate on him. He was still ranked 71st in the top 100, and that's your peers, coaches, so on and so forth. So somebody out there respects him. Their run game is absolutely sinister. They got OBJ back. They have Jarvis Landry. You have Donovan Peoples-Jones. You have Austin Hooper at tight end there as well. So I'm definitely going Chiefs 28-24, but I think this is going to be another solid game. I think it's going to be a lot of back and forth. Chiefs offense is definitely better, but I think the Browns defense is just that much better than the Chiefs as well. So we'll see how.
This take is I'm gonna reach into my bag from last year, and I'm reaching in this one. I got the Cleveland Browns in this one. I'll go ahead and take them 21-17. Considering that defense stays solid as we all see it on paper. You know what I mean? Like you just said, the defense, if it can hang with that offense, might be nice. But honestly, I got the Cleveland Browns winning this one by at least 6. What do you got?
And we got to remember, this is a repeat of the playoffs last year, too. So we're starting off crazy here.
That's why I think I have the Cleveland Browns as well. I think it's more of like a revenge game. You know what I mean? Because Cleveland put up a great competition last year.
There's no Chad or whatever, Matt Henney or whatever his name is in this game. So
yeah, ain't no Chad Henney. I think it's Chad Henney.
I can't remember. No, or it's Matt Moore.
Matt Moore. That's what it was. Oh my God.
Different ones, but he's not playing this game, so they don't have to worry about that run on third down or fourth down, whatever it was.
Way off topic, dude. I have a childhood friend named Matt Moore who's in prison for like 60 years.
All right, let's get back to
that name is just weird.
Good decisions now. So
Big Blue Jay said 3 starters on Kansas City O-line that have never played on an NFL snap.
Ooh, okay. Who they got the kid from Alabama though at center, right? If I'm not mistaken.
I believe so. Yeah, they got the little.
Sure, they lost Schwartz. Kyle Long got hurt, but they added some other ones. But they got the doctor back, whatever his name was.
He said, "I knew that was coming." Yeah, man. We see. And why is that funny, bro? Everyone knows who I'm talking about. Hey, hey, bud, backstage. Remember Matt Moore? You're muted.
Yes, I remember Matt Moore. Close dear friend. Wrong choices, wrong road. Follow the right road, people.
Yep.
Stay in school, stay off drugs. Thanks, Justin. Thanks. That's simply what it is. Stay in school, stay off drugs. Moving on, man. Next game we have Dolphins and Patriots, man. The Dolphins travel up there to Foxborough and take on the New England Patriots, man. 2:25 Mountain Standard Time. Jello, who do you have in this one?
So your dad's actually going to like me for once.
Ooh.
The biggest scoring game. But I think the Dolphins take this 17-14.
You think 3-point?
Behind it. I really tried to look into this and see if it would be something else. But I think Dolphins take this 17-14 this week.
Not a comment. Justin coming on the show preaching. Not preaching. It's strictly just, life choices that you smart life choices you need to make. It was an outstanding speech by Justin just coming on here and just telling people to stay in school, stay off drugs, do the right thing, and bouncing out. So yeah, I guess you can say Justin's coming on here preaching. You're right on that. But I agree with you, Jello, 100%. I do think the Dolphins take this one against the Patriots. I've been saying for the last couple of weeks, and I truly do believe this, Bill Belichick this year will rightfully gain his spot on top of the throne of best coach in the NFL. I do think that. I do think Bill Belichick is Nick Saban of the NFL, which he is. But man, I don't think him coming out week 1 against this fire Dolphins team who's been hungry for playoffs for the last 2 to 3 years. They think they finally got it figured out. Brian Flores is an ex-coach of the New England Patriots, so he's got Bill figured out almost to a T. I don't know, man. I got the Dolphins in this one. I got them 17-14 as well on this one. I don't think it'll be a far blowout deficit game, but I feel like when you're watching the game, it'll feel like Miami is up the whole game. You know what I mean? I don't think there'll be any, oh my God, the Patriots might win this one. It'll feel and look like the Dolphins are just dominating this game.
Right.
So I do. Jason's saying Pats 21-17. Ooh, and Matt Faraci saying Dolphins 2017. You know what I mean? So it could go either way. It's split again. I'm excited to see how this one goes. Potentially a game to watch tomorrow as well. Last or second to last 225 game, and this is another potential game of the week for me. Green Bay takes on the New Orleans Saints, and remember, this one is in Jacksonville because of Hurricane Ida flowing through the bayou down there in New Orleans. So they went down there to Jacksonville, and the reason being is that was the most expensive place for Packers fans to. So the New Orleans Saints taking on the Green Bay Packers in Jacksonville, Florida. Jello, we'll start it with you, man. Who do you got in that one?
I think Packers take this 28-20. We are seeing Winston again, but once again, I've said this before, I'm not sold on him at this point. I do love Alvin Kamara. I am a huge Alvin Kamara fan. There's no Michael Thomas, no Emmanuel Sanders. They have to focus on, Jared Cook is gone. So you have Adam Troutman, Traquan Smith, so on and so forth. So I know Traquan and Jameis have a good rapport, and Kamara is a great running back, but I don't think it's enough to beat Green Bay. So Green Bay's going to take this by 8 points.
See, and everyone has it at a 3-point game. Big Blue Jay saying Green Bay 31-28 in overtime. Matt Faraci saying Green Bay 38-35. You're saying Green Bay by a 3-point win. I'm honest.
8 points.
Okay, you said 8-point win. My bad on that. I honestly have Green Bay winning in a blowout situation. I'm pretty high on Jameis. I thought he should have been the starter from day one in this competition. I'm really high on Alvin Kamara. But I just feel the vibe, the swagger without Drew Brees is different on this team. And you've seen it in preseason a lot this year. And I think we're going to continue to see it through the regular season. Jameis Winston does take a lot on his back and take a lot on his plate by carrying that team after Drew Brees. But I don't necessarily think he can ever live up to that potential of Drew Brees, which is why I feel like he'll struggle so much this year. I think that'll be always on the back of his mind. Like, what would Drew do? What would Drew do? And it's not about what would Drew do. What would Jameis do? So I honestly have the Packers winning this in week 1 in a blowout. I'll go ahead and go 28-7. But it'll be an interesting game to watch. I think it's two good teams. You know what I mean?
Right. Absolutely.
It's interesting. Last 225 game, man. And I know you're excited to see this one. I know Jason's going to be probably, in the chats talking his shit, doing his thing. But last 225 game, man, the Broncos travel up there to New York and take on the New York Giants. Jello, what do you have in this one, man?
I have Broncos 21-14, and this is why. I think, 7 of these points are going to come from a defensive touchdown. I think these are two teams with two very good defenses overall. You have Peppers, you have Blake Martinez on one side, you have Kyle Fuller, Ronald Darby, Surtain, Von Miller, Bradley Chubb, so on and so forth on the other side. So I think it's really going to come down to defense here, which is why I think the Broncos pulled this game away 21-14. Not a blowout by any means. I do like Daniel Jones. I do like what they've done with their offense with Kenny Golladay to the guy from the Vikings, Kyle Rudolph, Darius Slayton. Are we going to see Saquon? We don't know. So they do have Devontae Booker as well. But I like the defense a little more with the Broncos as an unbiased opinion. That's why I think it's just 21-14. Not going to be a blowout. It's going to be a close game. I really think it comes down to the wire. It's going to be back and forth with this game.
Wow. Matt Faraci's even saying 25-21 Broncos. I'm going to go ahead and lean a little different. I think I'm more biased in the NFC East section of town because we like to get called the NFC least. I got the Giants by 3 in this one. I think they take it 24-21. I agree with you on the aspect that it would be a close game. I just don't know if Denver will squeeze out the win. And it's really hard to say that because we've seen Denver just blow teams out all preseason long. But I like to say it every time Dallas loses. It's preseason, baby. It's preseason. So we can't really base our game off of preseason. You know what I'm saying? So I think I need to see Denver with Teddy Bridgewater starting at quarterback. I need to see this rookie Williams kid get some carries. I need to see Cortland Stunton get some catches. You know what I mean? I just need to see the Denver Broncos offense flow consistently before I go ahead and put a little bread or put my bets on them. You know what I'm saying? So I got the Giants 24-21, but I do think the Giants and the Broncos both are very competitive in this game tomorrow. And look at this. We better see Saquon. I don't think Saquon is playing until like week 4. Big Blue Jay 92, and this is one we have to read. G-Men by 3, bias, of course. I think it's going to be low-scoring defensive game. I think the Giants D will surprise a lot of people. I do worry about our offensive line having a heyday with Vanilla Vic. Ooh. He also said Giants 24-21, and that's what I got it, man. Let's go, Eric. He is playing tomorrow. What? Saquon is in tomorrow? That's interesting.
I hadn't heard anything.
Me neither. I just kind of assumed that they wouldn't play him, but
saying there, but I think it really comes down to defenses here. And the Giants defense is much better than people think, and I think that's what's going to be there. So, but the Broncos, having Elway out and having a new guy at the GM position made some very smart decisions. But once again, we will have to see this full offense come together with Teddy Bridgewater. So once again, it could be up in the air, could be wrong. Giants could win by 21, so on and so forth, vice versa as well. So
it's going to be a great game to watch, honestly, and that is the last 2:25 game. Moving on to tomorrow evening, 6:20 game, 8:20 on the eastern side of America if you're watching, man, and this is going to be a good one, depending on what quarterback plays for the Bears. So we have the Bears traveling down to L.A. to take on the Los Angeles Rams. We're going to get to see Andy Dalton on his new squad. We're going to get to see Matt Stafford on his new squad, new quarterback versus new quarterback, basically. Who do you have in this one?
All right. Once again, 2 big defenses here. They did lose Kyle Fuller, but they started Andy Dalton. That is their mistake. I think he's going to make mistakes. He's not that guy. He plays scared, in my opinion. I used to be a fan of him with the Bengals, but he's just getting to that point where it's all talk, no game. So this might seem like a blowout, but I think it's a pretty good called game. I have Rams winning 34-17. I love Allen Robinson. I love David Montgomery, Khalil Mack. They're not going to have Trevathan. You have Eddie Jackson out there. But I think this Rams team is just going to expose them on the sheer fact of Andy Dalton. Dalton is not your winner. He used to be, not anymore. So
I agree.
He's not this guy. And so, yeah, I got him winning by, I'd put it at 17.
Wow, you got him winning by 17. Big Blue Jay said Rams by 13. Matt
out there.
Jalen Ramsey's going to have a heyday tomorrow, I think. He's saying Rams 27-10. I 100% agree. I got the Rams winning this one by quite a substantial amount. They're playing the Bears. Like you said, Andy Dalton, he plays scared. If anyone would know, it's a Dallas fan. We've seen him play scared all last year. He didn't really lead us to shit, which is why I'm confused on why Matt Nagy is like, yo, you led the Bengals to multiple Super Bowls and you led the Cowboys to greatness. Let's sign you freaking 1 year, $10 million, and you're going to be our starter over somebody who literally just played in a national championship at one of the best colleges in America, who literally is a first-round draft pick, who's literally under the age of 25. Like, it just doesn't make sense to me. That's why Matt Nagy gets roasted so damn much. Yep. So, I don't know. I'll go ahead and take Rams 27-10. I think someone actually guessed that. Yeah, Matt Faraci said 27-10. I got the Rams 27-10. I think this is going to be an ass whooping. But our last game of the week, of week 1 in the NFL 2021 season, this is our Monday night game, man. And this is going to be interesting considering everything that has happened to both teams. And we will go backstage to get a thought from a Raiders fan. But, man, Raiders. Who do you got in this one? Ravens traveling to Las Vegas to take on the Raiders in their new stadium. It will be the first time that it's full of fans. I think there's going to be a DJ in there just bumping it up. It's going to be interesting, man. So what do you think? Who do you got this one swinging to?
All right, so I like what the Raiders did getting KJ Wright up in the offseason. You have Darren Waller. You have Jacobs. They added Kenyon Drake. The variable here is Derek Carr. So that's why I have Ravens taking this 20-14. I'm not saying – it's going to be, once again, it's not going to be a high-scoring game. But I think Ravens just edge it out just enough. I know they're missing a lot of key pieces on that offense, but I think they still have enough to just cruise by these guys who have had a lot of struggles in that backfield. So you still have Mark Andrews, you still have Marquise Brown. You added Sammy Watkins in the offseason. Lamar can still run. What are the Raiders? I mean, the Raiders are a good, rush defense, but I think they've done enough to make Lamar be able to throw like he needs to. So I think they take this 20-14.
So this one's hard. This one's hard for me because I feel like both teams have so many spots that just are not it. You know what I mean? I like Derek Carr. I like Lamar Jackson. But on the receiving end of either team, I think the best receiver is both their tight ends, Mark Andrew and Darren Waller. They don't necessarily have anything special on the outside. Now in the backfield, it's easily the Raiders. They got Kenyon Drake and Josh Jacobs. It's definitely their backfield against, Gus Edwards just tore his ACL. There's you really don't know what the Ravens have. So
Le'Veon Bell and Latavius Murray. Those are the two backs.
Oh, they did sign a couple people, huh? Yeah, I have it right here. Yep, they signed Devontae Freeman too, and Le'Veon Bell, and they signed Levante Murray. So they have 4,000-yard rushers on their team.
Right.
Lamar, Le'Veon, Devontae, and Latavius Murray. Like, there's literally 4 1,000-yard rushers on that offense. But I do think the Raiders pull this one out. I think it'll be a little bit closer than a lot think. I don't necessarily think a 3-point game close, but I wouldn't put it outside the park of a 6-point game or maybe even an 8-point game if it came down to a safety or something like that, man. But man, let's swing it backstage to see what this guy Justin has and see what he thinks on his Raiders taking on the Baltimore Ravens, man. So backstage, Justin Sanchez, I see you wearing the Raiders hat. You're super hype. Before you speak, you are on mute, just to warn you. But man, how do you feel about the Ravens taking on your Raiders down there in Las Vegas for the first time, full of stands, man? Who do you got on this one?
Yeah, man, full of stands is the biggest point. Nobody really knows what this Allegiant Stadium. We got a little taste with the UNLV games and stuff to see how loud this stadium will be. I'm just going to go ahead and say it now. Allegiant Stadium will be the new 12th man of the NFL. This will be the stadium in the league. They designed it that way. That's just all I'm going to say. I know the people who made the blueprints and stuff. They designed it that way to make it that loud, to make it that happening, to have another opponent, not just the bad, mean Raiders in your face, but that crowd. So with that being said, man, I got my Raiders winning just because Ravens have had a bad streak of bad luck. It's going to make Lamar have to throw that rock because he's not going to be able to run it much because our defense is going to step up that much. He's going to have to throw that ball. There's going to be a lot of interceptions. Lamar's confidence is going to be way off. You're welcome, the rest of the NFL, because Raiders are going to set the tone.
Yeah, I 100% agree. I think the Raiders win this one. That is honestly going to be a game to watch. Not only is it on Monday, but it's week 1, baby, and you got two firehouse teams playing each other week 1. You got to go ahead and tune into it, man. So, Justin, I appreciate you, man.
Hey, and one more thing. It's one of the first time in about 5 years that there's one Monday night game. So all eyes are on the Raiders and Ravens. Let's go Raiders.
You guys don't necessarily get a lot of primetime games, huh?
We don't, man. These last couple of years we have. Being in Vegas, we're going to start getting a lot of them. We do have a lot of them this year, being that we always have a good game with the Chiefs. And you know who the Chiefs are. So Raiders.
Let's not forget Thanksgiving. You guys have a Thanksgiving game this year.
Yep, Thanksgiving game. Stuff's going up. We moved to Vegas. Don't be surprised if we win a Super Bowl soon.
Okay, that was a reach. Thank you, Justin. Appreciate that, man. Wow. He was like, don't be surprised if we win a bowl soon. Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised, but I would be hella surprised at the same fucking time. I like Gruden.
Took him to win a Super Bowl, absolutely.
If Derek Carr was better than 32 quarterbacks, I would fucking lose my shit. He's good. I like Derek Carr. I truly do, but there's no way he's leading them to the Super Bowl. I'm sorry, Justin. You guys need to go ahead and draft Spencer Rattler. You guys should sell this year and get Spencer Rattler. That would be a good one.
Do you think they're going to do it like the Jets did last year? They're going to do it, realize it looks bad, and win a couple games?
Before we get out of here, who do you think is going to be the team that sells? Houston, I think.
Houston, absolutely.
Yeah, I think Houston is literally going in there tomorrow. Their coach is probably like, yo, fucking lose this game.
See, but they don't even have to. They're already going to lose all the way down the stretch. They're not going to beat anybody. They're not beating the Titans. They're not beating the Colts, so on and so forth. It's going to be them.
They beat Dallas in preseason.
Yeah, preseason.
That pissed me off, dude. I was so mad about that, bro. I was so disappointed.
Something when it looks at your bench players, but it really
Even Matt Faraci's out here saying that was a hella reach. Jesus, man. But that was the Rick T Podcast NFL Pick'ems for week 1, man. We are writing them down. We are keeping track to see between me, Jello, and Tony who will have the best score by the end of the regular season. And then we'll get into playoffs and kind of go ahead and do our bets there. But, man, that was week 1 of our NFL Pick'ems. Sorry we had to miss Tony, but we'll go ahead and get his Pick'ems before the game starts tomorrow and go ahead and include him in that. But, man, thank you guys, everybody tuning into the show, the Rick T Podcast, Season 2, Episode 20. Showing love to everybody on the squad. We had a special guest on, and Ian Mack, our college football analyst. Excited to talk to him, man. Hopefully have him on sooner or later again and get some more college information out of him. We reached backstage to our manager / producer, Justin Sanchez, got his thoughts on a couple things, heard a couple boxers got knocked the hell out in the first round. Emmanuel Holyfield, I'm excited to see what more he's going to have this next coming weeks and throughout the season, man. Jello, I appreciate you for always being here on the weeks, man. I appreciate everyone for tuning in, like I said, man, and we're going to keep it popping, man. I'll see you guys on Wednesday for the Talk Your Talk show. Oh, Jello, go ahead, take it away. I don't want to just...
We appreciate you. We got to slide on out of here.
We got to slide on out of here. Did the same damn thing, man, but we are out of here. Like you guys heard it, NFL Pick'ems. Everyone have a great damn Sunday. Everyone have a great damn Sunday. It's football Sunday. Football is back, baby. The Rick T Podcast, Season 2, Episode 20. We are out. Peace, man.
So big news out of the NCAA. Players, they can no longer prevent them from making money on their likeness, their image, all that stuff. I didn't give it a ton of thought until a couple hours ago when Adelaide Halverson, she's a volleyball player, Jacksonville State, DM me. She's like, yo, I want to be the first Barstool athlete. 10 minutes after we signed, Adelaide Halverson, our first ever, congratulations, official Barstool athlete, a football player from Stanford reached out. Same thing. He's like, how do I become a Barstool athlete? You play Division I sports and you blink at me, we will sign you. We'll send you merch, the custom Barstool Athletes Inc. I just made that up in my head right there on live stream here. We may become the most powerful agency in the world.
If you guys are interested in that, then listen to what we have going on here at the Rick T platform. So this is the deal. We're signing podcasters, gamers, athletes, anything that you can show your talent, we want here on the Rick T platform. We're looking to promote you and anything you have going on. So if you're interested in joining a team that's going to help you get your name out there, join the Rick T platform. If that's something that interests you, please DM our Twitter down below. And let's get it cracking.